this.
All up. I'm a good liar. At school, in school holidays, I told everyone that I went to China, and then people believed me in class. I didn't go to China. I made it all up. I'm a good liar.
This is incredible, right? So I just thought to myself, oh, I haven't looked at the green. Well, to be honest, let's be honest. Okay, let's be honest. I thought to myself, is he still uploading loads of shit to the red channel daily about these kids after we pulled him on it? Yeah. No, he's not. All those videos about the kids suddenly dried up. Last one got 100 views a day ago. So it's not big news for Alan. He's not getting loads of viral views. He's probably going to stop on that. But when you click this one, and this is not just, like, I don't think he knows that I'm not blocked, or like my alts are not blocked, or whatever, or like, you know, things are not blocked on this channel. So I was able to leave a comment on this channel, on this red channel. I don't know if you can, I don't know if you could see it, or if it's like, if I'm blocked, you know, shadow banned, but I think I'm not. I think you can see this one. Alan is making videos of kids. Thought I'd leave a little comment there. Alan is making videos of kids. So I was over there and I was thinking, well, if he's not uploading loads of content to the red channel, he's not done a live tonight, has he? He's not been live tonight. So maybe he's, you know, maybe he's doing something on his green channel, which he's renamed Nicole Kessinger Living in the Shadows. As it's already got 3,000 subscribers, therefore already monetizable. So he wants to start a Nicole Kessinger channel, a new one. But instead of starting a new one and seeing if he can make monetization, he's just bastardized one of his old channels. It's a move. It can be done. You know, I kind of resurrected Battery Exhausted from its own wilderness a while ago. But this way, he doesn't have to bother trying to get some monetization. He's already got it. What happened to Nicole Kessinger? That's this green channel now. It used to be his Patreon channel, his behind the scenes channel, his other stuff channel. But now it's his green channel, Nicole Kessinger Living in the Shadows. Yeah? It's still called @Chelsea Pensioner 402. Chelsea pensioners, of course, are people that fought in the war and live in a part of London, were in a particular regiment. Once they retire from service, they get to live in these almshouses in London, in Chelsea. They're called the Chelsea pensioners. It's a really respected, like, if you're a Chelsea pensioner, okay, if you're a Chelsea pensioner, it means you're a war hero. See, these men, these respected men in their red coats, they're known as the Chelsea pensioners. They're war heroes, yeah? Alan is not a war hero. He's just a man who supports Chelsea, even though he's not from London, glory hunter, and he's a pensioner. Fucking disgusting. But I thought, what's he doing? And look, check it out. He's uploading on this channel 14 hours ago, 16 hours ago, 16 hours ago, 16 hours ago, 16 hours ago, 1 day ago, 1 day ago, 9 days ago, 2 weeks ago. 2 weeks, 2 weeks, 3 weeks ago. So when he resurrected this as the Nicole Kessinger channel a couple of weeks ago, he put a copy of a Patreon up with his sexy picture on it, look. A copy of him and his sexy picture to try and lure them in 2 weeks ago when he was doing his big push. And now, all of a sudden, I don't know if Alan's doing this or if someone else is doing it for him, but he's editing clips out of his old... Like, it's almost like we listened to what me and Stinky Socks were talking about yesterday on this stream, you know? Because we were talking about doing edits. Stinky Socks has been made an edit of my best bits. It's almost... Oh, big ups Cool Cats with the Prime subscription. Big ups. If any of you got Amazon Prime, it means you can subscribe to free and you don't have to wait for Red Fan to buy it for you. Big ups. Thank you very much for that, Cool Cats. So it looks like Alan has been cutting things, or someone has been cutting things and uploading them to this channel. And my guess is you would take all of your Watts stuff, and the reason is you think Watts is trending again. My old stuff's not getting the views. Maybe if I reformat it, put it on a new channel, I can get loads of views. Unfortunately for Alan, no, you can't. 200 views, 600 views, 37 views, 200 views. No, you can't. But it was just interesting to me that he's been doing this. So we can watch, you know, a couple of bits and pieces from this. And I thought, okay, we'll have a look at, you know, this is me in my off time. I'll be honest. Spent some time with my family. Ate some dinner. played a bit of my video games, listened to the podcast I was watching. Big ups, Trisha. Cool cats, it's you. You'll need to remind me every fucking time because I'll never get it in my head because I have to read all the names. Big ups, Trisha. Thank you. Thank you for the double sub. Double sub. So bear in mind, I will admit to this. I was watching this in my free time. Yeah. I was just sat here playing on my computer games, listening to YouTube. And I thought, well, if he's not uploading here, if he's not on tonight, where is he? And that's how we got here. And then I noticed, so these are all Chris Watts case videos on his new Chris Watts Nicole Kessinger channel. And then I do want to have a look at this Patreon one, this copy of this old Patreon one, because he thinks that's a good one and he's got his sexy picture in it. But then I noticed this one was called AD Waffling. And I wondered to myself, is this a troll? Is this a troll? And it made me think as well, on this one here, on one of these videos, has he deleted it now?
The iPhone 15 is here, and this...
I thought it was on this video that I commented on. Someone said, here, look, AD, I keep getting, this is where it came from as well, look, because I'd been here, made a comment, Alan is making videos of kids 15 hours ago. AD, I keep getting recommendations for channels that aren't you, but using your green channel logo, so it looks like you. So this was in my head. This person thinks that someone's pretending to be Alan. Now, I've got different alts on YouTube. I've got multiple accounts because I've got lots of different channels, but also I've got a few different alts, so I can go into places on YouTube and not be known as Super Chuffer, yeah? That's normal. I try and troll Alan on a couple, but you're not supposed to have alts that pretend. Like, I can't do... Basically, I could take this photograph, I could set up a YouTube channel with this photograph as my photograph, and I could call myself Armchair Detective, the real one, and I could go into people's comments and I could leave nasty comments and people might think it was Alan, yeah, and like that might be a way to do some trolling. So I don't do that because it would be against terms of service, and if they caught me on it then I would lose all my YouTube, and then that's bad for me. So I don't want to risk all of my YouTube for a bit of a laugh. But if anyone's got any other alt accounts, if anyone's out there and wants to do it for Alan, so this person thinks that someone's trolling him by making a fake account, and I thought, it's not really a fake account, is it? It's his actual account. It's just he's changed the details and he's now uploading all this Chris Watts stuff. And the reason they think it's a troll is because there's a video like this one called AD Waffling. So I thought to myself, I've got to watch this, AD Waffling. Now, I will be fair, I don't know if he's talking about himself here.
School. And in school holidays, I told everyone that I went to China, and then people believed me in class. I didn't go to China. I made it all up. I'm a good liar. At school, and in school holidays, I told everyone that I went to China, and then people believed me in class. I didn't go to China. I made it all up. I'm a good liar.
I'm a good liar. I think you might be talking about someone else there. Where's my other lighter now then? I either need lighter or gas. There's the lighter. Oosh. Do you like me hoodie? Do you like me cat hoodie? Big up Sea Blue. I think if you try and subscribe, it will offer you, do you want to subscribe with Prime? And then it might just link in automatically. If it's a big hassle for you, don't worry. But if it's not a big hassle, then I get the free, like, it's free for you to be subscribed to me with your Prime. It's like a free, as you've got Prime, they give you a free subscription to hand out. And every month you get to choose where it goes. So if you choose to give it to me, then I get the monies. So thank you for that. Big ups Julie Ramsey. But yeah, if it's big stress, don't worry. So he might not be talking about himself, but I had already had a little skip through, obviously, of AD Waffling, and I was enjoying it. So I thought, fuck this, I'm going to stop playing this stupid card game on the internet.
A story.
I play Hearthstone. It's a card game. It's fun. And I thought I'd bring up, this is recent, bear in mind, this is on his new channel, on the Green channel, uploaded a day ago. And this is a clip from his old streams, isn't it? People in the chat are fucking confused, look. Glad to hear Bubbles is still here. You're amazing, Bubbles. Bubbles is not still here. This is an old video. Love to Bubbles. Surely this isn't AD rambling in the modern times with this picture on here, or is it? Or is it? It's 45 minutes. And here we are. Da, 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 da. There's Chris Watts. Da, 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 da. Da, 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 da. 10, 9, 8. What's this? Dun dun dun. Uchukuka, umpachuka. Unchuchuka.
Hello, good evening. Welcome to the Armchair Detective members only channel, where you have to be a member to go boom. How are you, super sleuth?
Nike, why does he pretend? Why does he use a green screen to pretend that he lives in a nice house? Why does he do that? And the quality is at 720. It's the broadcast. Why do you pretend you're in a nice house? Use a green screen to pretend that you're in a nice house. Unless that really is his house and it is nice, and in which case, why do you ever use a green screen? But I think he's using a green screen to pretend he's in a nice house. Why don't you just do your house nice?
Well into June here in the UK. It's great, I love June. I often think, if it could be June every month in England...
June, but not June 2023, I don't think. I can't believe Mary Viariola put, glad to hear Bubbles is still here. You're amazing, Bubbles. Can you not understand? Someone's written, no love, this is a replay of an old video. Bubbles is not with us. Is Bubbles dead? Big up Debs, the Prime subscriber. Big ups, thank you very much.
I'd never have to travel again. It's just great. Welcome to my show. But it's not just my show, is it? It's your show. Because we work together. Because what are we? We're a study group. And we work together, and we always have done, and I've always advocated you guys to write things down like Andy does. Look at my writing.
Gaslighting. We've always been together, and we always will be, and we're always doing this, and it's always, and look at my notepad, I write things down. I'm sat in front of a computer, but I'm still writing things down. To be honest, I actually do still write some things down on a pen and paper, but it's not worth it these days, is it? You've got a phone, you've got a computer, you can just use that. You can't read any of it because of the quality of the broadcast.
A doctor would be proud of my writing.
Because doctors have bad handwriting, and so do you.
Come and sit down. I want to tell you a story.
Sit on my knee. His lenses go different colours with the light, I think. This is old Alan.
What happens if you go into a zoo and you poke a bear? Are you surprised if you get scratched? I tried to live and let live, but if they're going to poke me, I'm going to destroy them.
Oh, you're going to destroy them?
That's the predator. That's a predator. That's what a predator does.
You're going to destroy them. What happens if you poke the bear? Angry Alan is going to destroy you.
Stay away from somebody that can damage you, right?
Stay away.
It sense to do that.
You see why I was enjoying it?
I'm quite happy to fight for my channel and my position on YouTube. Don't worry. You think I'm an easy touch today? No. We're in for a surprise. I have access to YouTube and Google support.
I've got 40 million in the bank. I have a big armchair. I have access to YouTube and Google support. If you think you can take me down, you're messing with a man that has access to Google and YouTube support. I just send out one email and then I await for the automated bot response. I will destroy you. I will destroy you. He uploaded this 2 days ago.
I have 3 channels all making money for YouTube. I have an impeccable record of no strikes on all 3 channels.
No.
All my videos are monetized in green. I don't swear. I don't threaten people. I don't dox people. I don't use other people's videos.
Oh no!
Do they?
You just did today. Like, compare this to the Alan of today, who quietly uses someone else's content, hopes he can get away with it. And at the start, he says briefly, "I don't go on at other channels that have kicked the shit out of mine." And then at the end, he's like, "Oh, you people that don't agree with me, you're victimizing me. You're bullying me from the blind side on my own channel. 25% of people in here hate me. I'm going to get rid of you." Like some paranoid old chuffer in a barn, you know, in a cabin somewhere, locking all the doors and windows in a cabin in the woods. "Oh, there's 25% of people in this room don't agree with me." You know, what the fuck, man? Like, he's such a meek little, "Oh, I don't even want the fight now. Just don't even why are they even bullying me? I'm just a sad little pity party now." And back then, and why is he uploading this today? 3 minutes in, I have all the chicken I can eat.
They do all those things. Plus, they don't have any contact, do they? No content whatsoever.
No content whatsoever. This is brilliant, isn't it? I'm so glad that we've got this blast from the past. What a good idea to upload this to your new channel. Your new old channel. To what used to be your green channel and is now... It used to be What's Island and it's now What's Island again, except it's called Nicole Kessinger, The Truth of the Lie. Or whatever the fuck it's called.
But it doesn't make them much use to YouTube, does it? Makes them used to each other. Pat them each other on the back. Well done. Well, there's going to be some changes. You poke the bear.
I poke the bear.
Bear has sharp claws.
Ah, the bear has sharp claws.
Chicken A's back. Good. That's good. That's good. Tonight's main show, and it is a very good show tonight. It's something that was on in America, I think, some time ago, but it's new to us here in the UK. I keep getting this now that, you know, stuff that was on Reel, REELZ in the USA, has been sold to Discovery One in the UK, and they repackage it as new exclusive stuff. It's new to me because it was in America. I haven't seen it.
Are you talking about the telly, Alan? Are you talking about what you watch on the telly? Big up Slinky Socks gifting a tier sub to Smarty Hearty 122. Big ups. Look at that. The sharing is caring. Big ups.
I love...
this is where the joy is. This is where the laughs are. Alan just needs to fucking loosen up and just like... I swear to God, right? I swear to God, it's not even a bad piece of advice. Have you heard about Kick and Rumble? So what happened on... I was saying it the other day on the stream, but I was only briefly saying it. If you get kicked off Twitch and if you get kicked off YouTube, there's still somewhere for you to go and stream. You can stream on Kick streaming, right? And it'll look a lot like what we're on now. It'll look a lot like Twitch. But the difference is on here, there's legitimised gambling. XQC's on there with his loads and loads of viewers. He's signed the big contract. He don't mind. It's a streaming service. If you don't mind the fact that it's paid for by and promotes gambling and allows gambling on the website, which some people don't like, which is why Twitch said, no, we're not doing that, actually. But Kick do it because they're paid for by the big company that run the gambling. Alan fucking loves gambling. The problem is if the bottom drops out of it because the gambling company move on in some way or whatever, you know, if that big investor disappears, then this disappears as well. It's like a big gambling company have decided to set up their own Twitch so that they can have their own Twitch, yeah? But you can go there and the rules are a bit more relaxed as well, right? So also the same with Rumble. Like Rumble, I've been watching on Rumble some of these pedo hunters. We can watch a couple of them tonight on stream, maybe depending on how late it goes. But the reason they're on Rumble and not YouTube is because YouTube won't let you talk about things, will they? They won't let you, like, you know, explicitly talk about certain things without getting you demonetized. Over here on Rumble, they don't care. You can talk about what you want, to the point where you can have right-wing Nazi people and slightly edgy conspiracy people, and, like, you know, you can talk about what you want. So it's not all good, but Alan would fit in really well there because there'd be no terms and conditions, worried about what he has to say, any of this. He could fucking just go slander hi-ho, mad for it. And it's very much like YouTube. And a lot of the people over there, because it's more right-wing, because all the people that got banned from... Look, there's the quarterings on it. Because the people that got banned or are not successful on YouTube because people hate them, because YouTube's a bit more left-wing in the main, they're all over there being friends with each other, having a good time being right-wing. There's a lot of those on it. There's a lot of, like, newsy sort of Alex Jonesy sort of, like, maybe not Alex Jonesy, he's a bad example, but the quartering Ben Shapiro, like, you know, it's not my sort of place apart from the pedo hunters. But Alan should do that. Like, he should just fuck it off and just be like full arrogant Alan, angry, arrogant, gloves are off, do what I fucking want, I don't care, we're all on Rumble now, come and join me on Rumble. That's what he should do. That's what he should do.
Listening to the experts that they pay them. I can't afford to pay them, so they get experts to come on, and I like listening to experts. So I'll be going through that film, Capturing Chris Watts, tonight on the Blue channel, and it's interesting because they've got ex-DA there. They've got a body language expert as well. So, and the policeman. So, let's hear what a real policeman thinks of Nate's TV. Let's hear what a body language expert thinks of Chris's reaction.
I thought you poo-pooed body language.
And let's hear what a DA thinks of the evidence. Should be fun, right?
Should be fun. I wish I could see your face
properly. The main thing that interests me in this particular show, which is okay, it's not brilliant, it's okay.
And notice, back then as well, this is years old, isn't it, this one? I don't know exactly the date that it was originally filmed, but it's years old, yeah? Notice that he sounds better, if not the same, as now that he's bought himself a new microphone, because it's not about the cost of the microphone, it's about his technique. Like,
a lot of it's body cam stuff that we've seen before.
Lottie there with the shaky head emoji. We need to fix the emojis, don't we? I still years I'm going to be on the internet without proper emojis on my channel.
I can't afford to copyright all my stuff because you have to do them individually. So
no, you don't. This is fucking ridiculous. What happened with this book that he was saying about these photographs? He might have paid to use photographs that are copyright, in which case you have to pay for the license. Like, let's say I want to do a film and I want to use some music, like, I don't know, let's say I want to use Rage Against the Machine, then it's copyright. So I have to say to them, can I pay for the license? They'll say how much it is. I pay for, broadcast license. You don't go to, like, if I write a new song, yeah, and I just want to make sure it's copyright, I don't go to the copyright office and copyright it and pay money. That's not how it works. The fact that I wrote it makes it my copyright. Copyright is implicit in the creation. On YouTube, that basically, YouTube have their own system slightly, don't they? But that basically means if you uploaded it to YouTube, it's your video, and there's the proof because you uploaded it to YouTube. You don't have to, like, I don't have to, all these copyright strikes and all this stuff that goes on YouTube. I was able to copyright strike Alan, wasn't I? I didn't have to go to the copyright office and type in, hello, I'm trying to copyright one of my videos. First of all, can I pay to have it copyrighted? It's not a trademark. That's not how it works. Alan's completely confused. Big ups Red Fan gifting the tier sub. Gifting the tier subs now. Big ups Red Fan. Big ups. And Julie's picked up the tier sub now. So you don't have to figure out how to work it out.
I have to copyright each one on a daily basis.
Thank you.
Cost me a fortune. I don't earn much.
Cost you a fortune. So none of it can cost you a fortune because that's not how any of it works, Alan.
No, I can't copyright all my work.
He said, no, I can't copyright all my work. He doesn't understand what copyright is. He said he had no strikes because maybe back then he didn't, but I don't know if he did back then or not. He had some and then they were removed. I'm not going to go too deep on the YouTube copyright system because I don't want to give anyone any funny ideas, but like Alan, I think legitimately he could be done for copyright. I mean, on his last video, for example, he used material that was copyright. He just thinks he can, and probably will just get away with it. But when it's legit and you get strikes, you get strikes. But I think in the long term, it's less likely that Alan will fall foul of the copyright system completely to get completely removed. And I think it's more likely he could get removed for, I mean, he did a video where he called me Botty Boy a lot, and that was homophobic slurs. So stuff like that is against terms of service. But these days, I just think it's less about getting him completely removed and more about making sure that people understand who he is and what they're getting into so they don't accidentally, whoa, hype train. Okay, get this. Slinky Socks gifted a tier sub. Thank you very much for another gifted sub. Thank you. And that means there's a limited time hype train, right? Which means that if you do more support during the hype train, it continues, which is Twitch's way of getting you all excited. Just chill. We're having a chill time, but a hype train has started. So if you do wish to board the hype train, now is the time to get those tippies in through the Twitch system. We also do have the coffee system and like other systems, but the hype train. See, I knew you'd get excited. You'd be like, "What? Don't worry, don't worry. It's not an alarm. It's not an alert. It's Twitch trying to get you all excited." I'm quite excited. This is quite a fun moment. This is just going all fun. This is what Alan's stream should be about. They should be about fun. Its problem is it's dependent on him, isn't it? And how he behaves. But when he's like this, it's just fucking laughs.
Not big enough. But it's a good idea if I was rich, which I'm not. I'm poor. I don't own a house. I have a car that's worth $1,000. So just to warn you guys that want to sue me and come after me, you're wasting your money because it will cost you money to get nothing. Have you heard the expression, blood out of a stone? Because that's what you'd be trying to do. It's just a thought. I know, Alfred. I was just telling the other side that they're wasting their time trying to sue me. I don't have any money. You have to get a target that's got money, you know, before you sue them. That's the whole idea of it.
How long has he been going on with that?
Otherwise,
years.
You end up spending $100,000.
Capital K likes it when I say years. Years.
Dollars on F4. And then you can't win anyway because you've absolutely slandered the target that you're after up and down the high street of YouTube.
Up and down the high street?
I think you can sue me.
Of YouTube?
Try it. I wish you would. It'd be great. I enjoy it because I haven't got any money. But I'd love to see you waste all your money.
He's not enjoying it now, is he?
In your various ways. Hello, everyone.
Hello, everyone.
We are all guilty of the occasional fib. Most of us happy to let a little white lie go. But then we all say honesty is integral and we hate liars. Yet we're all liars.
I'm not.
Aren't we?
No.
Haters.
I have these problems where I can, damn well get guests on to attest to this. I have these problems where sometimes I don't even tell the white lies to appease people. I just fucking say it as it is. And then everyone gets eggies. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, do you like Auntie Susan's hat? No. Why are you wearing that hat, Auntie Susan? Take it off immediately. It doesn't suit you. Like, no, I can't believe you said that to Auntie Susan. Stuff like that. Little silly things. I've never said that to Auntie Susan. I don't have an Auntie Susan. I wouldn't say that about her hat, but you know what I mean? Like, I just say things sometimes, and I don't like lying, and I find it difficult to lie. I mean, obviously, if it was about like something, I don't know. I'm trying to think of somewhere where I would have to lie. Like, I don't even want to put myself in these hypothetical situations. In general, I like to think that no, I don't tell. And then you'd say, oh, but what about this and that? And like, day to day, people tell little white lies. And oh, yeah, little, like, did you empty the dishwasher? No, in fact, I wouldn't say yes, I did when I didn't. I'd just say no, I fucking didn't. Like, no, I'm not going to. That's the other one that I used to, like, when, you could get given like a list of chores, and you'd be like, okay, yeah, and I'd say no, probably not going to. No, I'm not going to do that. Not like in a petulant way. Like, I'd just be like, if there's things I'm not going to do, I won't pretend I'm going to, and then later on get told off that I didn't. I just say, no, look, don't count on me to do that because I'm not going to be doing that. I like to think honesty, is a good thing. I don't like to think that I'm a liar. I'm not going to have Alan telling me that I'm a liar and you're all liars.
Because if you only see one side of a story, you have to lie.
What?
If you only see one side of a story, you're left with no choice but to lie about someone.
What?
But how can you tell if someone's lying to you? Well, there's subtle signs to look for. And that's what I'll be looking at in this reel-to-reel thing tonight.
I can't believe he's going to do that. Like, I mean, he's obviously not going to do it. He's done it in the past. But Alan looking at lie detection, like subconscious signals, body language. I can actually do a good read if I watch the video and have the opportunity to rewatch the video and slow motion the video. But one-to-one, it's a lot harder. And I'll tell you what's difficult as well is one-to-one without the thinking time, without being able to pause it and really have a good think about what I'm thinking here. And then calling people on a lie. Because what Alan rides his own luck on is the fact that you could lie in public and people might think you're lying. They might even be 80% that you're lying, but calling them out on the lie, saying in public, hang on, wait a minute, mate, you're lying in a pub or wherever, it causes like a funny atmosphere. So sometimes people just keep their mouth shut, let you do your lie, and then walk off and think, fucking, that guy's a weird liar. But like, So spotting a lie in a one-to-one conversation is different from doing body language analysis, lie detection. That's what I'm saying. And I think I'm good at body language analysis, lie detection, but I think one-on-one, I would find it harder to call out deceit to people's faces for fear of the embarrassment or anger of whatever follows. Because even if they are lying, they don't like it and they don't want to be told it. I've learned that, like I said, by just saying things as they are a lot of the time.
But for your information, how to spot a liar in your real life?
Well, here's one right here. Alan is talking.
In your real life.
In your real life.
Aside from words, there are many facial expressions and body language cues that indicate someone might be lying to you. When I was a professional poker player around the world, I studied body language because I want to know if someone's lying to me.
There's a lie. There's a lie. There, I've spotted one. He's laughing. Jupiter's delight. He didn't study body language. He probably watched a video, saw it on the telly once, watched a video about it. Cannot have read a book. Cannot have bought or read a book. He studied body language. No. Study, no.
In poker, it's important. Okay. Read. You get a read on somebody. They have certain little ticks. You know,
that's how I've got Alan. I've got a read on Alan.
Leg might start shaking if they got a good hand, or their voice might go higher if they're bluffing. You know, things
like that other episode just the other day. I mean, just today that we watched, where you went, "Oh, I've got them! I'm smarter than them." When you did that, literally, wait. This can't be real. This can't be real. He can't be doing this for me. I mean, he can be doing this for me, can't he? The beauty of this. I'll just quickly, because it is too easy. You mean in your last live event?
5% wouldn't believe this woman. It is worrying, but it's not true. The 25% are my haters. I doubt if 10%, 5% believe her. After I've explained to you that she couldn't have seen the abductor because the football was the night before. After I've explained to you that Maddie died in the apartment, after I've explained to you that Mr. Smith, who hasn't got an accident right, saw Jerry McCann, in his opinion, carrying the baby, then I think that sort of adds up to more than 75%. It doesn't matter, because if you like work against me, you're blindsided. Like, what? It's like AD is this, AD is that. We believe it. Yeah, we believe it, because you haven't got the sense to have your own mind, have you? You have to do what you're told. Don't ever agree with AD. Whatever he says, he's lying. Even want to prove it? That's hilarious.
Where's the bit?
Jane Tanner. We do have memberships, Eric.
Where's the bit where he did this?
Jane Tanner is the woman that says she saw Maddie McCann being abducted. You can join the membership easily. I would like you to join my 5% of you hate me and think she's telling the truth. That's how I've worked it out. I can't think anybody. No one's given me an answer. I've asked you all. Why do you think she's telling the truth? Because no one's telling me why they believe her. They're all the people that just hate me. 25% of our audience. 25% of our audience watch me to hate me. So there you go. That's that. I caught them. I caught them. There you go. How'd you spot a liar? Didn't you just say it? Wait, didn't you just say it?
Read on somebody. They have certain little ticks. You know, their leg might start shaking if they got a good hand, or their voice might go higher.
Their voice might go higher. You mean like this?
So there you go. That's that. I caught them. I caught them. Bingo. That's how clever I am, right?
If they're bluffing, you know, things like that. It's very interesting. Everyone thinks poker's just gambling, but no, it's all of life.
It's all of life. He's such a twat. It's all of life. You sit around that poker table long enough, you see all of life go by. Dover and Dolly's mum said the best part is when he said, because we voted yes, who were the peanut gallery. Since I voted yes, I was very pleased to be called the peanut gallery. That's a word I heard that Val was saying about watching another streamer from the peanut gallery. I'm surprised that this peanut gallery thing has now entered his vernacular. Or was it originally his? I don't know. The peanut gallery. It was insane, wasn't it? If you disagreed with him, you were wrong. But I just highlighted it there because he said that was an example of when people lie, and he did it yesterday. when they're bluffing. And now we get this drama and romance about poker. It's not just a place to sit while you've got no friends and you want to pour your money down a hole because you're a gambling addict. It's romance, it's drama, it's all of life.
Risks.
It's taking risks.
Being right, being wrong. So I'm going to tell you what I learned from poker about body language.
Fucking nothing, assume, because you're shit at it.
The biggest way is they look to the right.
Oh, here we go. So we're talking about neuro-linguistic programming. We're talking about audio constructed, visual constructed, kinesthetic, and it's not the be-all and end-all, but NLP, eyes, and this is where, again, I would say if I'm talking to someone live one-on-one, I would find this to be difficult because I, even today, when I'm doing body language analysis, would like to have this open as a cheat sheet so I can just, because like remembering up and right, the remembered stuff, that's okay. Right is right. When I'm watching someone, my right, their left, confusing. Right is right, left is off, constructed. But down here looking into feelings. So not completely off, but looking into feelings. Down here, auditory, digitory, conversations with oneself. Not completely correct either. So as a general guide, yes, but people look around for lots of different reasons. So you look for clusters of body language, and neuro-linguistic programming eyes is considered, it's a bit like saying, or it's how do I consider, like, I'm trying to give an analogy. Basically, the facts are that this is not, like, if you go to do new body language today and they teach you all the best top stuff, this might come up as a conversation, but not be the flagpole of all the content. This would be said, oh, they used to do it like this, but now we've moved on from that and we have all these different things that we take into consideration as well. Some people still like to use this and we're not going to completely put it in the bin, but, and so, that's what that is, yeah? Like, I suppose, to Alan's credit, this is years ago, so maybe, he's not up to date.
Someone, when they're thinking about lying, they look to the right because they're using their imagination, not their memory. If someone's using their memory, they look straight at you. They're trying to think of an event they saw, they can look straight at you.
No, that's not exactly how it works, Alan. As we just saw from here, if someone's remembering something they saw, they look up to that direction, their left. If they're remembering something they heard, they look over there. Their thoughts and feelings, kinesthetic, auditory, digitory. The problems are when they're constructing something in their visual center of their brain, or constructing something to say, or pretending they heard something. They're the problems when you see them looking in these directions. And it has to, the thing is, it's not just they looked in that direction, bam, they're a liar. It has to tie up in context terms with what they're saying, and you have to be able to, and this is why rewinding it, slow motioning it, pausing it, going back over it, that's why that I find I can do that when I'm doing that. But if we're just chatting to someone in a social setting, I can't mentally log exactly the moment that you did the micro expression where you looked up and left and pinpoint exactly the thing you were saying, and then hold that in my mind at the same time as follow what you are continuing to say and move and look. And I find it very difficult, like one-on-one. So I don't think it's a good tip, but Alan doesn't seem to have understood it properly anyway, so I wouldn't listen to what he's saying.
Oh yeah, I last saw my wife when I dropped her off at the shop. If he killed his wife, he's going to say.
What? Who's killed the wife?
I saw my wife. Yeah, when I dropped her off at the shop. See the difference?
And Alan's wrong. If someone's lying to you, one of the first things they will do in the bluff and double bluff game of lie and deceit is they will believe that liars look you straight in the eye. I mean, often they won't. No, to be honest, often liars will feel guilty and shifty, and that guilt will consume them and force their body language, so to speak. But quite often, people who are trying to tell you the truth will look you straight in the eye. So it doesn't mean that because someone looks you straight in the eye, they are telling you the truth. That's wrong.
Look for, and it's not always right because it can be wrong. But it is. Everybody lies differently. Everybody lies differently. But I'm just giving you some of the signs that crop up.
Not everyone lies in, like, everyone has a different, I don't know, like, no, I think I'm going to say no to that. I think the reason that we use these body language ideas is because people are similar. Human beings are similar. You get outliers and you get different cases and you get different clusters of behaviors, but in the main, like, everyone lies slightly differently, but to a similar pattern, don't they? That's the whole point.
A lot. So that's a giveaway for a start. Another giveaway is taking big breaths before speaking. That's a lie. Wow. I have no inclination. The screen is not blurred. Nice try, Tammy Steele. No. Is the screen blurred, ladies and gentlemen?
What?
You never know, though. She might be right. I don't think so.
What's he on about?
I'll wait for your response. Is the screen blurred?
Oh, he's talking about his screen.
He's
talking about his screen. Yeah, he's in. Of course, it's blurred, Alan. We just are used to it. You broadcast in potato quality. Your screen is shit. Yes, it's shit. One of your viewers has noticed it. Taking a deep breath before you talk is a sign of anxiety, not a sign of a lie. Often people who feel anxious feel short of breath, their chest tightens, and they feel that they should take a deeper breath before they're talking or during their speech. But that can be because of different factors. Anxiety can point towards a lie, but it doesn't mean that there's a lie.
I thought now, which isn't great for me, but it's interesting. Perception.
I mean, obviously, I'm critiquing this, and he's just reading it off something off the internet anyway, isn't he? So
says the screen is blurred.
The screen is blurred.
A little blurred. Now, why would that be?
Because you're shit at broadcasting.
See if we can adjust the blurred screen. I have no idea why. I have no inclination why, but we'll try to clean it. It is now. It is blurred now. Let's have a look at what I can do to help you.
Oh, my family are in bed. I'm supposed to be quiet. I gave it a snorty laugh as well. It's not this, Alan.
Okay, is that better?
No.
That better?
No.
Looks great to me.
It looks great to you. What do you mean it looks great to you? The camera, or your your monitor on your screen, or your actual stream? Because you're not watching your actual stream then, because your actual stream is clearly being broadcast at 480p or lower, 380p. So again, back in whenever he was doing this, like, I don't know what software he's using, I don't know what computer he's using, I don't know what kind of internet connection he's got, but it's not coming through properly. No, at your end, Alan, you're not sending the information quick enough through the internet. It's got nothing to do with wiping the camera.
There again, I'm not getting the same view as you. Has that improved it?
Why don't you just open it on your phone and have a look? Or on your desktop? Why don't you just open your own stream on the desktop and look at your own screen and see what it looks like? Why are you talking to the chat and waiting for them?
No means what? It's clear as a bell to me. I'm not going any further till we sort this out.
We're not going any further. I love it as well. Like, if my screen wasn't quite, if you're saying, oh, look, it looks like it's coming through at 480p at my end and I'm midway through a stream, I might say, okay, look, I'll fix it for next stream, but tonight we're just going to broadcast in 480p for a bit. Don't worry too much about the image because it's not the most important aspect. Listen in, I'm going to carry on with my show. But we're not going anywhere until this is sorted. And I don't know how long it's going to take to sort because it might be an endemic problem that's not going to be fixed just quickly, but let's see.
Better. The background is lovely. Jonesy, where the hell have you been? She got lost in Portugal. She got back now, looks like.
Dockster holidays.
Oh, Mia says not better. I'm not going any further until we clear this off. To me, it's one of the best pictures I've seen. Maybe it's having a bad day.
It's one of the best pictures you've seen. It's because it's got you in it.
I know you're here for the content, but I don't want it to be blurry.
Yeah, interesting point there, Stinky Socks. Good point there. It's about baselines and stuff, and quite a lot of the time when I do body language on the internet, I don't have the privilege of a baseline. I do sometimes try and watch a quick video of someone, like, you know, if we're doing Philip Schofield, I've got a baseline because I've seen him on the telly, I guess, but that's not a good baseline. But I will admit that I don't look at baseline too often and may fall foul of that trap sometimes. Yeah, it is really important to consider that everyone is slightly different. So what might be important for one person is not so important for another. And with Alan as well, though, what you tend to get, like, the beauty of someone like Alan and the difficulty of like a stranger in a one-to-one random situation is with Alan, like, we know when he's told lies. Like, we've seen him tell lies, so we can go back and look at what he looks like when he's telling lies. Like, we've got the real deal to, like, you know, cross-reference. Whereas with a normal person on the street, you don't have the benefit of that. And to me, there's always this element of doubt. And like, it's not my job to call people liars, is it? So I don't have to. Like, but you know, in a social situation, like in a pub, someone tells a story that you think, I don't know, this sounds like it's a bit fantastic. Like, I have in the past said, like, I think you're lying, and like, that's a really awkward thing to say, isn't it? So like, most of the time, people don't really go in for that. I don't know many social contexts where you would need to ascertain definitely whether someone's lying to you. Maybe relationship stuff. You know, but maybe if you're at that stage where you're trying to use body language tells to see if someone's lying to you, then, you know, the trust has gone anyway. Yeah, I think it's really strange because, like, it's interesting to everyone. Everyone wants to be able to spot a liar, but in social circumstances, calling it out is a different thing. So, like, there's a lot more to talk about there, like the psychology of lying and interaction with, like it's very facile as well to say, like, this is coming from someone who studied body language. I say studied, actually read books, actually, you know, hand on heart, read books about body language. There's a little laugh from me, a little duper's delight, but I'm laughing at Alan. I'm looking at him on my screen there in his face because like, he's not read books or done anything. Actually read books on body language coming from me. The idea that like, it's interesting, people like, you know, they like understanding body language, but its use in social circumstance and your ability to do it on the fly. And therefore, its application, I guess, is what I'm saying. The application of it is much more nuanced and requires a much bigger context. I hate keep saying context, but it requires a much bigger understanding and a lot more knowledge than to just do, I've seen you smiling, I've seen you looking up and left, that one's a lie, I'm a human lie detector robot, beep bop bop, beep bop boop, beep bop boop, you look left equals you lie, beep bop boop. Like, it's not like that. What a penis.
Wow.
What a plonker. And then the camera's,
wore ADT.
for a minute there, the camera refocused, because when he does that, he's got it on autofocus. It refocused, and it took, and then what? Because there was nothing else happening, and he sat there still. He had a little bit of sharpness for a moment. And then as soon as he started talking and moving, and it started sending more data, overloaded, too much, bottlenecked.
T-shirt to dinner last night. That's brilliant. Who's AD? Well, he's this British guy with a phone and a blurred camera. It's not the lens. It's not the lens. Right, who is it then? Where's Bubbles?
He sounds like he's in a nursing home.
It's blurry. I have no idea, guys. I refuse to work. I refuse to work till it's done. Still bad. Let's change the background then.
What? Oh, it could, because, wait, okay. So let's change the background. It's a strange, first thing I would check is my internet connection. Yeah, see that I'm uploading, I'd say, what am I uploading at? And I can see here I'm uploading at 6,160 or 6,240 kilobytes a second. That's being sent. I know it's being sent to my router. I can see from where I'm sat that my router is functional. So that's fine. Yeah. If it was blurry then, I'm saying it's at your end. But for AD, no, let's check the background, but it could be that his computer is not able to process. Like, I don't know how, like OBS on my computer is doing the processing of my stream, the transcoding and sending it to the internet. That's like a job my computer has to do. So maybe his computer's just not handling it. I don't know, but maybe changing the background will help, because maybe it will make it use less transcoding information. But to go there first,
try that.
All right, let's try that.
Is that any better?
No.
Pixelated. They could be down. I'm on strike. It could be down to YouTube, right?
Blaming YouTube.
Pixels.
Pixels.
I'm on strike. I refuse to go on. No sign of bubbles.
There's no sign of bubbles. She was here, she was gone.
Cam set to low resolution. No.
And now he's done this.
No.
Like it takes on this new level of comedy gold, because now it looks like he's in this room on his own with the spotlights, like he's being interrogated, and like the whole show has come to a stop and the spotlights have come onto him. I'm glad I'm sharing this with you all as well, because I was going to watch this on my own, just sat here watching it, having a chuckle, playing computer games. Like, this is better to be shared. When's this stream from? He uploaded this to his green channel a day ago. He uploaded this to his green channel a day ago. When's the stream from? I wasn't following him all that years. You can tell by his hairline and his glasses that it was a while ago. But this has been uploaded yesterday. Is this the Black Room? Yes, Jamie. Like, it's like he's making his own bad edit video of himself. Like, AD the worst bits. And he's called it, this has been uploaded, and it's called AD waffling as well. Bear this in mind. It's called AD waffling. Ad waffling. Like, if you, on YouTube, you see AD and you think it means ad, like an advert. So you think this is an ad for waffling. And then you turn it on, and lo and behold, it is a sort of beleaguered, confused, elderly gentleman doing some waffling.
Blurry on TV. I refuse to work. I've got nothing to say.
Rattle out of pram.
It's not blurred at all to me.
No, but it's blurred to them.
Must be very interesting for people to watch this tomorrow and say, what's he going on about?
Why did you edit it and put it on YouTube then, as like its own super video for your new channel?
No idea where everyone is. I used to hate being told it's buffering. I might take industrial action and go on strike.
Or you could check your internet connection, and if your internet connection is running fine, and you could do a speed test right now while you're live. Just Google speed test and do a speed test. If that's all working, then the next thing is your computer is transcoding and sending it to the internet. So if the internet works and you're sending, what are you sending at what rate, and how is that happening? And then check that and fix that, because that's probably where the fault is.
No, I'm not.
Good points as well in chat there, AD. AD waffling, a dick waffling. Not a blooming detective, yeah. He's not a detective, is he? Because he's refusing to detect the problem in his own setup. And instead has decided that what's probably a better idea is to just sit there and refuse to do anything. It's not going to fix itself, is it? So I think what's he waiting for? What he's waiting for is the ladies in the chat to say, all right, if you're not going to fix it and nothing's going to happen, I suppose we can just accept that it's shit. And then he can say, right, fine, now you've accepted it, we'll move on. It's like gaslighting. Yeah, well, it's not going to fix itself, is it? Well, no, I'm not going to fix it either. So we're just going to have to both look at it until we both decide that no one's fixing it, and then you have to live with it not being fixed.
Having it that you can enjoy it. Either, look, it's perfect at my end. Now you're going on about the glasses. Well, I'm not doing anything until someone says the screen's fine. Jonesy.
It's not.
Get my union rep. Little better. Well, what's wrong? How can it be a little better? It's the same as it is every night. I don't know what you're on about. It's not blurred at all.
That's gaslighting. Like, you're watching him and it's blurred. You can see it's at like 480p or like whatever. It's all pixelated, and he leans in and tells you in blur cam that it's not blurred at all. Like, that's his response to this. It's just so incredible, isn't it? So incredible. I've got another one to share with you, right? And I don't know if people are going to hate me for this, because Be Brave, Be You ASMR gets on my fucking tits. I'm sorry, right? She might be a content creator who suffers from fibromyalgia and the menopause, so I've got sympathy for her for that. But she's one of these ASMR new wavers that came after me in the ASMR and turned it into like a commodity. And I fucking don't like it, right? She's a fucking massive narcissist, I'm telling you. Right? She's a massive narcissist. And she dropped a post, right, just recently. I just can't with this mentality. I love my community and my viewers so much. But I also love this as my job, right? When I did ASMR, bear in mind, and when I run but there were loads of content creators that didn't see it as a job and just did it for love. Like, they didn't even monetize their stuff. I was one of them. Okay, that's my choice. Other people can do it for a job, fine. But you take the soul out of it, you take the love out of it, you turn it into a grift and a grind. You know, you end up not doing exactly what the thing is that people really identified about it in the first place. All those like quiet, nervous, socially awkward people who liked whispering and gentle, you know, strokey hair. They had like their own little community on the internet, and it got turned into this commodity thing, this manipulative commodity thing, right? So I don't agree with what she's saying there. Some people think you can do it as a job and treat it like a job. I think it ruins it. I think it's like being in a band and saying, oh wow, you know, people like our music and our feel. Yeah, right, well, we've got to do 5 more albums, and I want 1 album every year, and I want you to be on tour, and I want to, hang on, wait, you're taking the life and soul out of it. Let's keep enjoying ourselves for number one, you know. But like, she's putting this community post, ASMR should not have ads. This is someone's put this on her channel. She's got a channel, right? She's got an ASMR channel, and recently she was crying about, why don't people keep watching my videos? Why isn't it going so well? Right? I love the community so much. This is someone that's posted on your fucking thing. They are the community, yeah, that you love so much. Meow. Meow. They are the community you love so much. And Jeannie has got a really good point, right? And I agree with this. In the end, I had to put monetization on the ASMR channel because YouTube put ads on it come what may. They are going to run at the start of your videos. You cannot avoid it, okay? If you're successful, YouTube put ads on you. You can check it out. But I agree, ASMR should not have ads, because the reason people watch it is to try and help them sleep. A lot of people, or to relax. So being blasted with advertising for 2 reasons. 1 is it's disturbing, obviously. And 2 is that it's psychological advertising. It manipulates you on a psychological level. So if you're putting yourself in a hypnotic, relaxed, calm, like meditative state, and then you're getting hit with advertising, it's double problematic psychologically, me personally feels. So I won't put any adverts in my ASMR videos. YouTube will automatically put them on at the start, and I had to turn on the monetization because YouTube were making money off my stuff anyway. So I just thought, fuck it. When I turned it on, I was able to turn off gambling ads, alcohol ads, ads of a certain, like, you know, you're allowed to have it's almost like because of religious objection and stuff like that. You're allowed to say, I don't want these kind of ads on my content. You don't earn as much money, but you're allowed to turn off certain ads. If you don't turn on ads, it's no choices. So ads is a big thing. It's a controversial thing in some ways in the ASMR community, but it doesn't matter these days because the great and the good, the big ones, the winners, like the big social media stars of ASMR, they're all pumping ads, they're all doing sponsorships, and all that ship has sailed. Yeah, like there are still quiet creatives who don't monetize their channels, and they're still good, and they're out there somewhere, and there's the whole spectrum of it. But that's my opinions on it, right? But she's put this post. So I love my community and my viewers so much, but I also love this as my job. So I treat this as my job. So I don't love you all as much as I'm saying. Obviously I have to say that because I treat it like a job. So if I didn't say I loved you, you'd all go away. But this woman who's in my community, I'm going to pick on her, and I'm going to make a public post about her on Twitter somewhere else that she doesn't see, so I can get my fucking bitching off my chest, right? And it's about someone in my community, and I've posted them on the Twitter. And she's not even saying anything bad. Look, Jeannie is saying ASMR should not have ads. I can see the beginning or end, but that's it. So she's saying, look, if there's an ad at the beginning or at the end, okay, I can tolerate that. But you can't put it in the video. I'm guessing this woman, Be Brave Be You has put adverts during the mid-roll, during the video, during the ASMR video. Unbelievable. That's like abuse of your audience. That is literally, if you're doing ASMR content and you're putting ads during the video, you are abusing your audience. Definitely, 100%. You understand that they watch it relaxing, calming, tingly. There's an advert, then abuse. It's not acceptable to me. Other people can have their opinions, whatever. She's obviously got her opinion, right? Jeannie says, there are plenty still out there that have 0 ads. And we should just rely on views or work a real job. So, like, she's saying, look, if you get lots of views, you can get sponsorships. This should be the aim of someone who's successful. You can take away the advertising. And there's a lot of other creators that have removed advertising because they feel it ruins their ASMR. You know, if I was still in that ballpark, I'd have to have that serious conversation and try as best as I can to remove the advertising. So she's put, this is a real job, whether you like it or not. I work harder and longer than most real jobs. I'm constantly doing something for my viewers. Why don't you work for free? You are selfish and entitled with this attitude. I guess you don't work or expect to have everything free in life. Good luck. That's nice. That'll keep them coming back. You cannot, like, have a pop back at people like this who, like, she put the real job bit at the end. That was a bit of a pop, yeah? But, like, you just got to click like and move on. Like, you can't get into bitter arguments because you, the content creator here now, you've got a fucking entitled attitude yourself, haven't you? Going on about you work for free and my real job and this and that. You're putting ads in the videos and she doesn't like them. And she's watching your videos and she would enjoy watching your videos if you didn't put all the ads in there. So just listen to the feedback. Put fewer adverts, be more popular. Instead of arguing and telling everyone what a cock you are. Fuck you, you're selfish and you're a bitch. What? I just can't with this mentality. Bringing it to Twitter, to me, this doesn't, like, this is supposed to provoke, for me, I think. She's supposed to be provoking this like, oh, and this is what it does, look. You look, the audacity. You work so hard to bring these videos to us. Equipment and props aren't free either. Thanks, Sarah Lynn. Like, the audacity. Damn, she doesn't get it. Just rely on views. Where does she think the view money comes from? Ads. I don't like ads either, so you agree you don't like them. But ASMR artists offer me free access to their work, yes. So you could support them in other ways, couldn't you? It's almost like as if there was a system like Patreon or Super Chats or stuff like that, where you could support them and then they don't have to run adverts. And it's almost as if, because she's got quite a few views and subscribers over the years, it's almost as if when you reach a certain level, you don't have to run adverts because you get a sponsor. But no, like, fuck this, fuck you. I don't like ads, but you do your work for free. So the ads are a small price and they keep you. I appreciate it. It's ridiculous that people think this way. It's not ridiculous. Your content is for a group of people who in the main are using it for anxiety relief, stress relief, sleep. And the bombardment with adverts has always been a problematic aspect of ASMR content creation. And to think that you're just some YouTuber, therefore you should just shut up. Look at me, I've hurt my finger. You can get fucked. And every time she posts some of this shit, I'll probably end up getting blocked, won't I? But I follow her simply because on a regular, she will post some kind of narcissistic, self-absorbed. There's a lot of self-absorbed. There's an awful lot of self-absorbed. And overall as well, I'll just quickly shout this out.
Hey, Bissona.
There's the ads, look, on her channel. Just quickly shout this out. Her most popular video is an ASMR role play medical exam. Not a role play, an actual medical exam. 1 million views. A scalp, 1 million views. And it's just really because algorithmically, like, she got a bit lucky. Like, she's not some special ASMR artist here. I know, right? Trust me, I know. Yeah? She got algorithmically a bit lucky. The thumbnails are acceptable. For a time there, YouTube was itself hard pushing ASMR. So she got that. Yeah, she had the benefit of that. But she's not some special person like she thinks she is. Right? And then she's not getting the views anymore. Not like she did a big cry about it a while back and she picked up a bit because she did listen to some critique and criticism. Right, she did. But she's not getting as many views anymore and she's not happy. So in the past, a while back, all of her, this is when she was crying about it, I actually had to tell her, look, she said, why aren't people watching my channel anymore? And I went and had a look. I said, all your thumbnails are exactly the same. If you feel you're not getting enough views and everything looks the same, that's why. People don't know what you're doing and you keep doing it. Exactly the same. So she did change it up a bit more recently, and she has gone for a bit of a more variety in the thumbnails. But to me, the big face thumbnail with the items, it doesn't do it for me. And I see there's like a fake happiness, like a fake smile, like a fakeness to some things, because like she said, she treats it like a job. So she turns up, she bangs out a video, she's done. She's not listening to it in headphones while she does it. She's not like, you know, aware of how her performance gives ASMR. I don't think she even feels ASMR herself, to be honest. She does her videos the same, like formulaically, and it doesn't feel like it's got the soul that it needs to. And it looks like every other ASMR video from everyone else has ever done ever as well, doesn't it? So there you go, there are your answers. But she has a cry about it on the old like there's quite a lot of posts here that are just like this is the argument about ads from one side. Look, Whisper Sparkles. I actually know who Whisper Sparkles is. Oh my god, this is so fucked up. Okay, get this. This is fucked up. I know who Whisper Sparkles is, and let me tell you, she's a fucking bitch as well. This girl, when I first got into ASMR, this girl sent me a Facebook message, and it said, "You can't come and join our gang. We are the ASMR club, and you can't be in it. I've decided." And I was like, "I don't want to join your gang. Fuck off. And don't ever talk to me." And since then, thorn in my side, YouTube condescending arsehole, Whisper Sparkles. I've been doing ASMR for 13 years and never earned a penny. That's because you're shit. You're right, it's not a job, it's a hobby. No, it can be what you want these days. They turned it into a commodification thing on YouTube. YouTube got hold of it and saw it and thought we can monetize this. It's not a job, it's a hobby. These new people ruined it all. Confused. YouTube ruined it, popularized it. These new people jumped on the bandwagon because they saw dollar signs, but they are part of the ruination of it. We were the whispering community until they took it over to make their money. True that. True that. We didn't even have AdSense way back at the start. True that. I will agree with her there. I'll agree with her. Shocking, she says, be brave, be you. Shocking. Can't it just be a hobby that you enjoy? If you had it all removed, you won't have menopause. If you do, then it's because of something else. When you go through change, it's because you have everything. No, I'm in the menopause because my gynecologist and GP said so more than once. It's what happens. It's called a surgical menopause. I know what I'm talking about. Look it up. Why are you posting this on your Twitter? You're arguing with people about whether you're having... Like, what? And then she's angry about the idea that she should work for free because she shouldn't put adverts, jumping to the extra conclusions. It's not that. It's that we think you shouldn't interrupt your content with adverts because it's not... Like, she's such a chuffer, man. So there's another one. I don't know why she jumped into my head at this moment, but why was that?
How can it be a little better? It's the same as it is every night. I don't know what you're on about.
Oh yeah, that. Like, same as it is every night. I don't know what you're on about. Her refusal to change and then demanding that she still gets millions of views because she thinks that she's special. She didn't realise it was the algorithm just doing it.
It's not blurred at all.
I mean, she had to put the work in to make the videos, don't get me wrong, but at one point, you know, YouTube was really pushing those videos. So if you were making those videos and doing all the hard monetization, YouTube were putting you ahead of the people in the Whisper community who weren't putting their monetization on.
Well, I've had no reply from Bubbles or Chicken Lady, so I'm on strike. I don't think they're even here. I'm just here on my own.
Where have you sent me the link? In Twitter? Hang on, is it a tweeter? Twitter's not... Oh, Twitter has got message. I don't know why it's not coming up as a notification message. It's honestly not coming up as a notification message that I've got message notifications. We'll bang this up then before we jump back to him, yeah? This is Lizzie.
Ashton
11
Page
minutes ago.
asked the question: are you still making a DV documentary with all our invested funds going forward? No. The invested...
No, I took that money and I stole it. And then I made a video on my own YouTube channel to tell you how to get money back off a fraudulent crowdfund, which is something that I've done.
Funds for the documentary.
He's done.
We bought software and that.
Software. I spent it on computer poker.
To try to make it. And then we ran into trouble with the book and had to spend all the money that we had on copyrights for the book. So I'm afraid the money, the documentary, has all been spent in arranging the documentary, but we haven't got any money left.
So why did you do a crowdfund for money that you couldn't afford? Like, if you want to make a documentary, you work out how much money you're going to need, and then you crowdfund for it, and then you make the documentary. You don't get the money and then use the money to arrange it, and then that's it gone. That's not how it works. Yep, got that.
So no, there won't be.
Saw this the other night.
Not to that standard. But the funds you invested in the Armchair Detective went towards the book and everything else, the whole thing. Thank you, Mr. Pope. You're a one. You are.
He should just show the receipt, shouldn't he, then?
Okay.
That's not true, is it? No. Skip. You had issues with Amazon. This is available on Amazon, I understand that. There were 3 different versions. Okay, there were 3 different versions. Paperback, Kindle, paperback. Bit weird that there's 3 different versions. Amazon fraud department gave you a break up and left one. Gave you a break and left one up. However, you had to pay approximately $2,000 to cover the royalties you had received. And that's what you spent the fund money for, correct? Please stop blaming everyone else for what you had to spend the money on. You were caught out on Amazon. Greed. So my guess is, I mean, she hasn't explained that fully, and there are no proofs, no evidences. But my guess is he used copyright material in the book. He put pictures in the book that were copyright material. Once he'd published it, they came after him and said, this is our copyright material. You have it in a book. So it's not like a YouTube video where you get a strike. We want the money. The book's coming down, or you're buying the copyright off us. And then the book came down. He took the photos out. He paid them the money that he'd taken from their copyright material that they then, before he had to pay to them. That's what I'm saying is what's being levelled at him here. But unfortunately, there's no evidence of it. But she said it, so that's interesting. Obviously, they think they probably know the story, and he's telling a lie is what's going on there. But without the actual factual, evidence of it. And again, it's the past for me. Now, I know that he stole the money from the crowdfund because he didn't make a documentary. Like, where's the doc? I don't care what he said else. Oh, I used it to fucking fill up the bath with beans. I don't care. There's no beans. There's no bath. You took the money. There's no documentary. Until there's a documentary, I stole the money. That's the other option. It's not like I need 10 options in where he spent it and what he's done. But that's what it sounds like there, yeah. So, be brave, be you, ASMR. I've got a lickings of a dog there for me on the random. We're doing a secret stream. We're listening to this. I don't know why she popped into my head then. I don't know if she counts as a lol cow. Like, she might just be a bit of a fucking nutter. That I don't get on with her opinions. But there's also been other ASMR ones, and like they turn into big rows sometimes. Like if I start, like, you see what she's like, you know what I mean? Could you imagine if I cut that as a video and put it up? Like, she'd be on Twitter and all sorts making videos about it, and they all get on the attack because all the ones that see it as their own financial, cash cow, they defend that. They all get around to defend it.
Chicken lady, Bubbles, anybody about? What's wrong with the screen? Jonesy, pixelated. Yeah, where have you been, Jonesy? Seems there's something wrong with my camera. I don't know what. I can't really carry on without Chicken Lady and Bubbles. If they're on strike, I'm on strike. They're not answering me. Okay, I'm checking it. It's got to be YouTube because some say it's fine. Oh, I've got a Bubbles and Chicken Lady. It appears to be YouTube or my connection at the moment. Right, we're looking into it, guys.
It's obviously not YouTube. And also, how have we got this video? Like, this is uploaded to Alan's channel. So Alan's got the source material. So when I'm broadcasting, it's being saved by Twitch, it's being saved by YouTube. And that's what it came through at. That's what they got firsthand, YouTube. He's uploaded it, and it's still in fucking dog poo quality. So it's obvious that it's not YouTube, isn't it? It's obvious that it's at his end. And Cacao and fucking Noodles, what they called, what's she called? Chicken Lady. They're running around headless chicken behind the scenes trying to fix it. And Alan's refusing to do anything.
And we're hoping to return to our normal service as soon as possible.
This is so funny. Why did you upload this?
Our information is, it's YouTube, not me. Okay?
No,
I'm going to carry on now.
He loves it, the narcissist. He won't take responsibility. It's obviously you.
Because my assistants, Bubbles and Chicken Lady, have said it's not me. So, Camilla, Sweden can't even see the screen. Dave, can you see me? Right, so body language.
So,
I'm going to have to carry on regardless.
Even though you can't see his face, he's going to describe facial expressions and eye movements, and you can't see his face.
If someone's lying, you can tell, because when they're telling the truth, they look at you like that and talk to you.
Do they?
If someone looks straight at you, they're highly likely to be more honest. And they say, I last saw my wife this morning when I went to work. She was there. I saw her in the shower. Something like that.
In the shower?
If they're lying, they say, when did you last see your wife? And they go, last saw my wife when I left the bedroom. I think she was in the bathroom. Yeah. That's a lie, see? Because looking down there is searching through your imagination, not searching your memory. This is the memory. Me looking at you, that's my memory. If I can't remember, or I'm going to make it up, I do this. Yeah. Well, that's imagination.
But that's what you do when all your talking is happening all the time.
So that's the big difference, guys, okay?
Like, Alan spends most of his stream looking off to the side like a fucking...
If you're going to keep telling me it's blurry, I'll just...
Like a ventriloquist dummy. You know the old ventriloquist dummy? And they used to do... This is my impression of a ventriloquist dummy. Like that. They look from one side to the other, don't they? Like, Alan spends most of his stream doing this. Lying because they're looking at you and they're not looking at you. He's getting eggy about the blur again. He's getting eggy. It's getting blurry again.
Just go, because there's no point.
You might as well just go.
If you're going to keep telling me it's blurry, I'll just go, because there's no point.
You can go.
Keep telling me it's blurry. Just stop saying it. Be the answer, because you're interrupting me. In the shower, yeah.
Just stop saying it. They're not interrupting you unless you take it and talk about it and are interrupted by it. Like, there's loads of things that go... I left a load of things going past in chat just a minute ago about me taking all my clothes off on the stream. It's how you deal with things, Alan. The fact that you're being criticised on your show and you look less than perfect and you can't figure out why or how to fix it, it's really getting on your narcissistic egg. I could be well fed up about this squeakiest chair, but
look, Bubbles and Chicken Lady are working on it, so there's no point you mentioning it's blurry because we're working on it, yeah? All you're doing is annoying me and stopping the show.
The show that you refused to go on with like a paddy. You had a little tantrum.
You're telling the truth. You'll look at someone and talk to them from your
the size of that hand
memory. If you need to lie, you'll look to the right, usually the right, and make something up from your imagination. That's the difference. That's the big lie, okay?
That's not how it works.
That's the big lie.
We've said that 4 or 5 times now.
Things.
So now I know.
A deep breath before they speak.
So do you know that if I want to win in poker, yeah, all I have to do is stare him down and just tell him, I've got 2 aces. Alan, you need to fold the pot. I have 2 aces. And that's me done. You know, he knows liars. I'm not lying. But then he'll know that I know that he knows that he said that. So maybe when I stare him down and tell him things, I am lying, but I just have to hold my nerve. Oh no, hang on, wait. Hang on, wait. Mind games. And that's poker. It's just like life. Except it's not like life because you don't have to play fucking mind games with people in daily life. You don't have to bluff and front and push them about on the table, you know. You don't have to do any of that in real life. I remember this was an interesting one. I played poker with my sister's... It was my sister's boyfriend at the time. And still a friend of mine now. And he got quite eggish. because I was winning, and like he was the one that wanted to play and like was all into the poker, and I was winning. But the reason that I was winning is because like I was given the opportunity to sit and study and like, you know, body language, you know, I was watching him and reading and like looking for tells and stuff like that, all of that. But it was really fucking weird because it's not like, it's a friend of mine, my sister's boyfriend, someone I like, and I don't usually have to sit, or don't usually tend to sit and examine and like, you know, work out and like think my way around. Like, you know, in normal conversation, I'm not trying to be some sort of Machiavellian manipulative arsehole. So I just don't, you know, I'm just talking to him like a normal person. But the vibe while we were playing poker got a bit eggy because like it's a one-on-one competitive thing. He wants to win, and I'm like literally like, you know, staring at him, you know, following his movements, like making little comments, like, you know, doing the stuff so that I can win. And the psychological mind games that you play with each other across the poker table, that's not very friendly. I'd say that. I don't think it feels very friendly to be doing that to each other. So yeah, that's my limited experience of poker. I've had some limited experience of poker like that, you know, playing with friends at home. But yeah, it tends to get eggy, and it's to think that Alan puts these simple terminologies into, like, if you look at me, you are telling the truth. Like, he's the most fucking ridiculous. And maybe he's lying now. Maybe he's just saying this as like a, do you remember like when we did that episode on lying? Yeah. So I've got this big thing to tell you, but I'm definitely not lying because I'm looking right at you. And do you remember in the episode about lying, if I look right at you, I'm not lying. So when I tell you that I wasn't on Smule singing with those kids, I'll look right at you, and that's proved it. Proved it, because you know how to spot a liar. Maybe it's that.
That's nerves, and they're probably going to lie. And if they hide their hands behind their back, it's a gesture, giving away emotion, things like that, right?
If they hide their hands behind their back, they might be giving away emotions or lying. So put that one on your notebook. If they hide their hands behind their back.
Okay.
He's on form, isn't he?
Learning to read body language can be quite advantageous to spotting a liar. With the 10 most notable signs of lying
being reading something off the internet for the first time ever without having ever read it before. Reflection of that in your glasses. Here's a notable sign for being a liar. It's Alan Vinnicombe. He's a massive liar.
Through body language. I just did some body language then. See that?
Yeah. Stress. Self-soothing.
As I said, looking to the right. What if you're blinking a lot? Oh, you can't see, so if I'm blinking all the time.
There was some conversation in chat about whether this was because glasses do that to your face. What do you think? Like, do glasses just do it to your face, maybe? I think it might be some sort of malnutrition thing. There's actually, we're going to have to start taking different political camps. We're going to have to start, a proper debate. What's going on with his eyes? Big up, Sandy. It's night time. Yeah, this is just a random late night secret stream. I just can't help it. I was going to watch this on my own, but we're 20 minutes into a 40-minute Alan Joyful. It'll end up as a video. What's going on with the old face, Alan? What's going on with the old face?
Time. That's a reason. That's a lot. As I said, looking to the right. What if you're blinking a lot? Oh, you can't see, so if I'm blinking all the time.
That shows cognitive stress. A lot of thinking and blinking.
That's a reason. That's a possible lie.
Possible lie?
That's a possible lie. Blinking. I'm still talking to Bubbles and Chicken Lady a bit, or... yeah. Licking the lips.
You do that all the fucking time.
Sometimes. Not always.
Not always. That's a lie, but not always. Not, but that's you all the fucking time. Tell me in chat if you recognise Alan licking his lips. Have you seen Alan licking his lips? Is licking his lips something
licking
Alan
the lips.
does? Come on, tell me in chat. I need to have you pop it in chat. I know it's late, and I know you're all just watching this on your devices late. But come on, tell me in chat here. Like, does Alan or does he not lick his fucking lips? Or I always mirror it. I copy it. I go, like that. And I feel like we're licking our lips a lot on this episode, Alan. Like, he's always doing it.
It's a lie sometimes. Not always. Not always. Licking the lips is not always.
Not always.
We've looked into the problem with the blowing, and it's all across YouTube. Not.
Is it possible that there was a YouTube-wide problem with their transcoding, or is it more likely that the people that are watching you also have bad internet? And so when they've got your window open and the window's open for the chat to talk to you in, and then they open up YouTube in a third window, it's having problems as well. Is that what's happening? Who knows at this stage?
Just the Armchair Detective channel.
Look at him coming close. Look at him coming all close. Looking at his webcam. There's his webcam in his glasses. Looking at his webcam in his glasses. Oh, look at him coming all close. Now it's sharpened up as well here. Hang on, wait. Wait, I'm saying all this stuff about bit codes and encoding because that's my go-to. It can't be this. Wait. Wait, is it possible that it's not on autofocus whatsoever and that he's simply out of focus? Like, if I lean right back, look, I'm going to, my green screen, but I'll go out of focus. And if I lean in closer, I'll go into focus, like real sharp. That's my sharpest point, because I do lean in sometimes. I'm usually about here. But when I lean back, I'm a bit more out of focus. But if I come even closer, I'll go actually out of focus. Look, I'll be out of focus because my focal range, my focal point is here where I'm sitting, yeah? Out of focus, in focus. Is it possible that Alan's webcam is not autofocus and that he's simply got it set to focus closer in so that he's in focus now and he looks really blurry the whole time because he's leaning back and he's not in focus and he's got filters and green screen stuff on, and so when he has the green screen on it tries to take away the background and do whatever, and he's part of it because he's out of focus? Is that what's happening here? Because this suddenly looks a lot sharper. And if that were the case, then it would be fucking even more funny, wouldn't it? Which is why I was having such fun watching. Like, I skimmed through it earlier. I thought, this is a gorgeous little video. Why have you uploaded it to your chat? Remember, you can't forget, this has been uploaded to his new punch, his new effort to change and pivot. Nicole Kessinger, the green channel. Nicole Kessinger living in the shadows, the green channel. We've got this.
Who has a perfect camera and a perfect picture on my screen.
Oh, no, yeah, because he keeps saying it's his own screen. He's got the perfect picture on his screen. So maybe it's not the focus of the webcam. Maybe it is literally what I said before about the bit encoding.
So, okay, so that's a YouTube problem, not me, okay? So there you go.
Oh, no, it's sharpened up there, though.
That's a YouTube problem. So
no, it did just sharpen up there. But then what's probably happening is, like, he's sending it through his computer and his Wi-Fi and, you know, whatever systems are overloaded, like sometimes are and sometimes aren't. It won't stay sharp, I'm guessing.
Licking lips or touching lips is also another possible lie.
Hey, wait, I've got another idea. Sometimes I wonder, is it that Alan doesn't know what he's doing, right? And instead of, because when I go live, I've got to post my stream key into the encoder, and then I've got to press go live, yeah? And what I could do is I could send my stream key to somebody else, and they could put it into their YouTube channel, and I could put it from my encoder to their, or no, they could send me their stream key, so to speak, and I could put it in my encoder, and I could stream on their channel. Like, if I want to stream on someone else's channel, they send me the details. I can go, like, in the same way as I tell my computer, stream to my YouTube channel, please. I can say stream to their YouTube channel. Maybe someone else runs the show and he's doing the, well, even then, I was going to say they could change the settings behind the scenes then, but they still couldn't, because they'd still need to be on Alan's computer, wouldn't they, to change the settings? Like, they'd still need to have Alan's, like, it's his end sending the information. I still think it's his end sending the information.
Putting your hand over the mouth is a lie, probably.
Probably
so. Troy McCoy. Taking deep breaths, massive test. What about when they're trying to make thinking time? Well, if someone is a liar, well, we all tell lies.
A liar.
If you're about to tell a lie, you possibly...
Earlier on, didn't he say that high raising in pitch indicated a lie? Like, I don't know why he's lying about lying, but it seems like he's telling lies about lying. He's swaying around in his chair. He's rocking around. I think the problem here is that he's feeling very anxious about what he's saying because he knows that he tells lies a lot. It's like having to do an episode on... okay, for me, it would be like having to do an episode on kinds of crisps that have got beef flavouring in them, because the other day I accidentally ate the crisps with the beef flavouring in it and I'm vegan and that was a bad thing. Yeah, and I'd have to do the episode and think in my mind the whole time, shit, I ate those crisps with the beef flavour. Shit, I ate those crisps with the beef flavour. I hope no one knows about the beef flavour. And the whole time I was doing this episode about the crisps. Like, you know what I mean? It'd be like you have this dark secret you don't want people to find out and you're talking about lying and you don't really want to arm them with all the ammunition to find out that you're a liar because you're a liar. So you're finding it very stressful going even through this. It should be simple, shouldn't it? I've got a website. It's got some top tips on how to spot liars. We're going to talk through them and have a little bit of fun. But instead, Alan can't do it properly because it's too blurry. And even reading these simple tips is finding very stressful. This is gorgeous. I'm glad he uploaded this.
Well, we all tell lies.
We all
if
tell
you're about
lies.
to tell a lie, you possibly want more time to think. Hang on, I've been told to close all tabs. Hang on. Let me try closing some tabs, guys.
There goes Nicole Kessinger. Oh, maybe he was playing poker in another window, and now the poker game is finished. Suddenly, this problem is cleared up. Maybe it's that, because when you're playing an internet game, that takes priority on your streaming and stuff. Because, I don't know. In fact, maybe I'm wrong on this, but I believe certain services, especially if money's involved, might take a little bit of priority, and boot off, your stream might not be the highest, but your stream might be able to vary, but the other thing might be solid, has to come through at this rate, How's my tummy? It's a bit better, but I haven't eaten loads of nice dinners. I've had one of those vegan cottage pies. That's my dinners. Not loads of dinners. Just one of them.
Might help.
Might help to close the poker tab, close the Nicole Kessinger sex pictures, close the Madeline I. McCann pictures, close the Facebook group you've got open with all the people that you're talking to, close the Skype call to one of those ladies, close the emails that you send to those ladies on the bed, close the PayPal, close the betting on the horses, close the window with the football game that you're watching, close Pornhub, close Mother Licks Cunt Off Daughter's Face, close that. Oh, well, you can't close that because you're in the process of downloading some dirty child pictures to send to another pedo, so you can't close that. That one's got to keep downloading. Yeah, other than that, everything's good. Yeah.
Any better? I know it's disrupting our lives. Okay, I've closed all the tabs I can.
Those tabs, I don't know what was on those tabs, but what's going on that face? Those tabs are all right, and then these ones over here, fucking hell. I tell you what's happening here, right, with these tabs over here, is he's thinking, if I press the wrong button and these tabs come up on the screen, there's going to be fucking hell to pay. Like, these tabs are serious tabs.
Okay, I've closed all the tabs I can. I really have.
I can still see a bit of a reflection in the glasses as well. But I suppose it'll be of closed tabs, won't it? Something just got closed there. You can see on the left-hand side of his glasses, it gets closed. Hang on, what am I doing now? Oh, I'm in the fucking numbers game. Hang on. No, you can see the tabs getting closed in the left-hand side of his glasses. I wonder what his desktop is. Some things are happening. I can't be asked to go too deep on that. Although maybe I really should, maybe I really should, because maybe that's where you get something massive. But I predict it's going to be really hard to see, and we're not going to get massive, like, it's just going to look like some blurred tabs. So, some blurred tabs. Blurred tabs. I got a bummis. My dog's got a bummis. Dog's got a bummis. Alan's tum-tummis. Little bummis.
I really have. I really have.
Angry Alan, the armchair detective.
Okay, that's it.
You little bummies.
So, any better? Looks good now. Oh, Bubbles has saved the day again. Well done, Bubbles. She's such a...
It wasn't the tabs, because it fixed up before the tabs. He realised it when she said tabs open. Like, it was his poker game or whatever he had going on. He had something else running in the background and he closed it. I think that was what it was.
Yeah, good now, isn't it?
It's better now.
We could have avoided all this trouble if I'd have closed all the tabs before I started work tonight.
Work.
I'm not brilliant. Bubbles is.
Is
Thanks,
Bubbles...
Bubbles.
Okay, in chat, someone fill me in, because I think a few of you might know or you might not. Tell me about Bubbles. She's still there then? No, she gone. Why is she gone? Maybe you're the wrong chat. Maybe I need to do it in the big wide chat where some of his mods are, or his former mods. Like, Bubbles gone. Why Bubbles gone? You think she's dead? Sorry, I shouldn't laugh. Shouldn't laugh, but I don't know why I think she died, or she gone to her home. Gone to her home? Bubbles has popped. Bubbles dead? Did he do a special episode? R.I.P. Bubbles. Bubbles dead. She fucking should have done. That makes this comment down here even worse, doesn't it? From Mary Variola. Glad to hear Bubbles is still here. You're amazing, Bubbles. No love. This is a replay of an old video. Bubbles is not with us. Bubbles is dead. Maybe Mary meant, glad to hear Bubbles is still here in spirit, you know, being talked about on the channel. Uploaded an old video. Bubbles is still here in spirit. You're amazing, Bubbles. And she's been corrected anyway. Bubbles is fucking not with us. She's dead.
It was really...
She left and took all her binders with her. Rumour of a big fallout. All right, you see, because this is what I think. I know that you had mods who left in the past and stuff. I don't fully... They're driving around at that. Can you hear that? Can you hear that in the microphone? Can you hear that? The microphone. Everyone's in bed. Someone's out on a power bike. Like, I kind of respect it in a way, because like, it's 1:40 in the morning. The roads will be quite clear. Obviously, they're doing far too fast. They're definitely going too fast. But if I was into that sort of shit, like, I mean, I don't think going on motorbikes is a good idea. Like, definitely dangerous. But like, going out at 1:40 in the morning and going out for your power burn, I suppose it's... maybe they've got somewhere to go. No, I can still hear them. They've definitely got nowhere to go. They'll be ragging their bike out for ages, roundabouts. Someone on a power bike somewhere, like, you know, in a way, like, I feel bad because everyone's in bed, but in another way, I feel like, you know, doing it at middle of the night. I mean, they've probably gone off to like the bypass now and the big road to go and rag about on it. Fair enough. Weird though, huh? Yeah, so Bubbles is dead. No, Bubbles left and took... I feel like, you know, back in the day, he had other people doing stuff for him. And I feel like now, like, these edits... Okay, my guess... I'm really 50-50 about Melissa Marvelous. I accidentally called her Missy Mel the other day. Missy Mel's one of our subs, our people that watch us on this channel. Missy Mel's forever, always a big favourite of mine, even if she got in trouble for tippies. Not in bad trouble at her end. Like, it's just like, she did me some tippies and then the bank was like, are you sure you want to keep doing all these tippies? And she was like, yes, calm down. I shouldn't be telling her personal business, but you know what I mean? Like, I didn't want anyone to think that she was in trouble for tippies, but sometimes people's, you know, like, if you try and spend something on your credit card and they're like, are you sure you're doing this? Maybe shit like that happened. I don't know. Anyway, look, I'm not doxing her. I'm just trying to not talk and say the wrong thing, and I'm getting nervous that I might be saying the wrong thing. So I hope everything's all right. Big shouts out, Missy Mel. But Miss Melissa Marvelous, who's one of Alan's subscribers, right? She's in his group now. She got inducted into the Spanners group just recently. I thought she might have been a troll. I thought it might have been someone tipping, picture of nice hair, get in the group troll. I mean, it might still be. if it is, it's not me, right? So there's that. In fact, I wish I was getting in like that. I should be paying more. I should be doing more of that. But I think she might be a trot. But then on the other hand, like, I feel like she might actually be someone who likes Alan for some reason and is like into him and doing this thing. And she's recently been joined and she's younger. Maybe she's doing these little edits and deciding to throw these edits up for him. Maybe it's her. But I think in the past someone else was doing it. And I think in the past someone else was like this, like you say, bring in the folder. And like they were better at than whoever is now. And like Alan is less competent of doing stuff, so he relies on these people. And then like when they're not very good, he's not very good. Like, I think that's actually happening now at the moment. And I think probably behind closed doors, I don't know what's going on with Kaka, but me personally, I wouldn't like the way he talks. I worry sometimes when I'm talking to my mods about, you know, do things like this or don't do them like that. Like, you know, I worry that, you know, telling people, making people feel things, you know, I'm worried about how they feel. Alan doesn't care how people feel, but they do feel. So Kaka cannot like being told the way she's being talked to on the internet. Unless she's so, you know, I don't know what the word is, subservient. And unless she's so subservient that she just takes that shit. Like, Kaka cannot enjoy that. Like, can any of us enjoy having our name shouted, like, oh, can you hurry up and do this or get that for me? So my guess is that behind the scenes, Alan puts more pressure on them, because I've called it out recently as well. This content is not very good. The people that have put it in front of you made a mistake with this one, Alan, because you shouldn't be doing this. And I think behind the scenes, his little group said, let's do this 8 passengers. And Alan said, I've got no idea who 8 passengers is, and nor do I care. I'll jerk off over these little kids, and then I'll see you later on the show. And then on the show, he did his episode with all the pictures of the kids and all that, and it didn't go well. And then he's cut it off now. And behind the scenes, he said to them, this is not a good idea. Look what they've done. This is your fault now. You've got me in this trouble. Scott's calling me a pedo again, and it's your fault. Not my fault, because I'm Alan, you know, doing the show, but your fault because you're writing it. So I wonder, like, personally, I think this is actually, I didn't realise there were these layers to his content creation, right? I thought he did do his own research and turn up on the shows. That was naive of me. So now I perceive there's another avenue of, like, I thought it was just about if we could break that bond between the people who pay him lots of money and him by showing them who he really is, singing with the kids. When I found that, I thought, well, this is it. You know, this is something that I can show them that will change the way they feel about Alan, not facts and figures and numbers and I argue this and I told them that, but look at him and feel this and understand it. It's not right, you know. I thought that would be the thing, the singing with the kids. And I thought it'd be between him and... Can you hear that? They get in trouble. They will get in trouble, because I'll tell you what, around where I live, the police will call them up. Someone right now, I tell you what, someone right now will be considering calling the police around where I live. I swear it. Someone will, not me, but someone will. And like, if they keep doing that, the police around here haven't got so much to do that they can't just cruise up and down the road and just be like, excuse me, driving your bike around, are you? Would you like to get off it? Yeah, or maybe what it is that Angry Alan, this is what Angry Alan would be thinking, is paranoia, right? Maybe what it is that there's a hitman out for me, and to find out where I live, they're going to drive the bike around, and I'm live, and they hear it, and they say, right, you just drove around this area, I heard it, narrow it down, and then like they can keep doing that until they know where I am. So if you hear the bike getting louder and louder, and then my stream goes off, then you know what's happened. Been murdered by Angry Alan. The
really annoying me. Now I can start flirting with Jonesy again. Jonesy.
Yeah, I was just saying as well, wasn't I? Yeah, I've said it before, I think, but the quality of his streams relies on these other people. So and I think I don't have to do this. I think it should do itself. Given time, I think it should do itself. But Alan's relationship between him and the people who provide the content for him, if that breaks down, then he needs to either find new people to create the content for him, or he's kind of in trouble. So maybe, you know, maybe on some front, like I said, this will do itself, because the more he is mean to those people, and like the more he is Alan, he can't help it. He will be like this. The hopefully less chance they have of sticking around, but then maybe, I just think maybe there's a possibility they like it. You know, and that they're in some way so subservient that being berated in public, they're just like, oh, it was my fault, sorry. Oh no, it was me, sorry.
You were supposed to come to Portugal. Yeah, now I look good. I know. Hugo Boss. So can I go back to my nice scenery now?
Hugo Boss. Do you think that's good, Alan? Hugo Boss t-shirt. An expensive t-shirt that doesn't fit you properly and well. You're better off on a cheaper t-shirt that fits you better. And also, Hugo Boss, super Hugo Boss designer. Like, Hugo Boss is kind of like a designer label, but you can get that at TK Maxx, and it's not about the words on the shirt, is it? Like, it's really not. Like, if you want to go in that front and you want to say, right, you know, I'm wearing nice clothes, so I've got nice words on them, Hugo Boss, then you can get trump cards out now, can't you? Oh, well, what about Louis Vuitton? What about Balenciaga? Didn't they do pedo stuff? He'll love that. What about, you know, and you can just keep going up the chain until you've got like the hottest, most expensive one. So if you're on that chain and you're not at the hottest, most expensive one, then what, mid-range labelled goods. I actually honestly think, I know that there's a lot of these flashy people on the tellis with their, you know, bags and their hats and their Gucci and all that, but I actually think that people who spend a lot of money on dressing well don't have the brand like as a advertisement on the clothing, mainly because it's kind of a little bit garish and tacky. Like, I mean, obviously I've got my brand advertised on my clothing, but like, do you know what I mean? Like, I honestly, I can't understand this as well. Like, I'm anti-capitalist in my heart of hearts, and why you would pay Nike so that you could walk around being an advertisement for Nike? They should fucking pay me. Those t-shirts should come cheaper because they've got the Nike swoosh and not be more expensive, because I'm walking around advertising your brand. So as I'm going to be a human advert, can I please have a discount on the clothing? How about that? And like, I won't say that I don't enjoy some sort of brands, design qualities, you know, different designs, different looks. Of course I do. You know, I mean, like, fashion is a human nature, I think, in some way, to like the way things look aesthetically and go a certain way and have a certain identity feeling connected to it, or maybe not, and just dress up and whatever. It's all good. It's all good. But critiquing Alan specifically by saying he looks good because he's wearing Hugo Boss is this childish surface layer level of, I look good because I bought the item that's got the word on it and it cost the monies. So I don't have to have taste. Instead, I have to have monies. And that's not taste. And therefore, you don't look good. You look like you fell into a trap as like a really good consumer. Hugo Boss has Nazi connections. That's true. That's true. Designed the Nazi uniforms. Big ups, Blistered Hooker. Well spotted. That is actually true. Hugo Boss designed uniforms for the Nazis, yeah. Like, I'm not saying that Hugo Boss doesn't sometimes make good clothes, yeah. And I'm not saying that, like, some people who have got a name on a t-shirt that they enjoy and they think is nice, or a Louis Vuitton bag that they think is nice, no, they can still enjoy them. They can still be good items of clothing, or like haberdashery or whatever. They can still be good. But what I'm saying, I think, is that there's a whole spectrum of it, and Alan's perception of it is that if you go in the shop and you buy the t-shirt with Boss on it, that's better than the t-shirt that said Nike, by priority of, you know, Nike is sports clothes, this is a brand, and then you go up the brands, and then I can have a better t-shirt than you if I spend a bit more money, and it doesn't matter how it fits or how it makes me look, and about the context of even having that as your emblem of visual success. To you, the fact that you've got Boss on it from TK Maxx is better than the other t-shirt at TK Maxx, better, and now you're judging things on a sort of better, or, you know, I look good because it says Boss. Like, because you can't say because Boss do good tailoring, because that's not tailored to you. That doesn't look like it. It looks like the arms are too short, it's wrinkled around your neck here, it's tight around your neck there. It's not tailored to you, so that can't be it. Really interesting psychological point there to take out of that, and it's all narcissist all the way, isn't it? I buy designer clothing that's flash, I look good.
Now I look good. I know. Hugo Boss. So can I go back to my nice scenery now? I bought new scenery for you tonight. And it's like really romantic. Look, Jonesy.
Bought it. These days he doesn't buy it, does it? Because it's still got the watermark on. Bought it.
I got this for you. This is my grey bedroom. Here.
My grey bedroom.
Isn't that nice?
Mr. Grey. This is back in the day, wasn't it? It's a couple of years ago, maybe. So, Mr. 50 Shades of Grey now. Now it's 50 Shades of Black. One shade. Now it's one shade of black. And bars on the windows.
Hotel.
In fact, the thing you've chosen us to look at here, Alan, whilst the window is open so that your victim can escape, it does seem to have like shutters and bars on those windows.
It's $200 a night, this room.
$200 a night, but how much for 15 minutes? Because that's how much Alan charges for the local ne'er-do-wells to go and have sex with the sad, trafficked person that's locked in the basement of the rental property that he gets to go and oversee for a couple of days on behalf of some bad chuffers.
Crystal clear. Well done, Bubbles. Oh, Mandy, look, a new member. I'm Mandy. Fly me. Fly me. I'm Mandy. Remember that record?
What? What? Fly me. Fly me, I'm what?
Who sung I'm Mandy, Fly Me?
Do you know what? If I was a millionaire, I probably would shop at a slightly better standard of shop than I do now. And it would probably involve somewhere along the lines having some designer clothes. I remember once when I was a hairdresser, there was a shop over the road when I was a junior, actually, when I was an apprentice. And it sold all the fucking smart clothes. I had a Gucci jacket from there. Or was it Armani? I like the Armani jackets. Like, I liked the style and the look of it. It looked cool. And like I had to save up my money and go. Like I went in and said, like, "Oh, save this jacket for me. I'm going to buy this jacket." And then like I saved up my money, so on the £100 a week, and bought this fucking Armani jacket. And I did wear the shit out of it. I did like it, but it had zips here, and then it was like green, and it was like anyway. So I'm not saying that you can't enjoy a bit of nice clothes here and there. I'm definitely not saying that. I just wanted to make that clear. But I'm also saying that I don't really think that it's a good idea to get on the always. I feel like you're being played if you think that because something says bosses on it that it's better t-shirt. Better. It's a t-shirt. I think you need to have perspective on that. If someone's going to design you some really nice shoes and then they're going to make them by hand and they cost a little bit more and they're like a bit more of a shorter run or whatever, and you think they're good quality and you like the style and the designer behind them like puts their stamp on it by being a designer, yeah, I can dig that. I can understand that. But if you want to go into TK Maxx and pick out the Boss t-shirt and say that you're special, I don't really dig that.
Well done, Bubbles. What would we do, eh? What would we do at Bubbles?
But like I said, I totally would. Like, give me £1 million, you would see me like Kanye West dressed up with a fucking woolen hat and welly boots and all sorts of weird shit. I used to wear weird shit from charity shops when I was younger. Like, when we were tripping on mushrooms, I had this pointy wizard's hat that I used to like to wear, even if we're out in town. Like, I don't mind dressing up in weird shit, and especially if it's designer weird shit, then you can't argue. Before it was I was dressed like a teenager who'd had a rampage through a charity shop. But now I'd be like Kanye West and you couldn't complain. Oh, it's designer shit. So it's not that I look stupid, it's that you don't know what looks cool.
I don't know.
Big helmet like a space helmet and like a fucking jacket like a race car driver, and then big boots like big old stomping boots. Oh, don't worry. Today I'm wearing my pajamas and I'm going to be sleeping in my bed shaped like a Ferrari, so you can't argue.
Imagine if you haven't got a Bubbles. Imagine if you're some little creator and you haven't got any Bubbles, you've just got like a few helpers, don't know what they're doing.
What are you on about? Most little creators do it all themselves. I'm really grateful to the people around my streams that help me, and I'm not used to it, and I haven't got a handle on like I'm just honestly, right, I'm not used to having people around on my streams that help me like this. Like, one of you's going to be you're all going to be helping with the emails, you're already helping with the Discord. I'm so grateful for it. But like, I don't like, see it as, if there was a position on this stream for scriptwriter or editor, then it would involve some like remuneration, wouldn't it? Or like cutting into, like we talked about the other day about editing clips and getting a percentage of the clips that, like the money that comes from the clips. Like, Alan's got like people who just do his work for him. And then he thinks poor little other content creators who don't have a chance. They do it themselves. He's such a knob.
And
I'm really
look a year
today,
younger every week. Someone's going to catch on in a minute. There's something's going on. Why is he looking younger every week?
It's the filter.
He's supposed to be 66. In a minute, his hair going to turn black.
66. This is 2 years ago then, yeah?
In next week, my hair will be jet black again. And what are we going to do then? Nona Davis. Okay, back to, looks like Paris. Yeah, gay Paris. Yes. Femi and Pipe. Femi and Pipe.
What?
Pip.
Femi and Pip.
Okay.
Like my pipe.
I'm in a funny mood tonight. I think I'm in a playful mood, you know. Playful. Right, so let's go through them again. I'm in a funny mood tonight. I think I'm in a playful mood, you know. Playful. Right, so let's go through them again. Lying. Look at you, using your memory. Looking to the right, using your imagination. Licking your lips, dangerous, lying. Putting your hand over your mouth, lying. Hand gestures, lying. Scratching your neck, lying.
Everything's lying. Everything's lying.
The right, using your imagination.
Did you say payful?
Playful.
Payful. He did. He said payful.
I think I'm in a playful mood, you know. Playful.
Payful. Do you think this is because, right, okay, there's subconscious embedding, like you could believe, Alan could believe, I suppose, that he can elicit payment from his audience by dropping in words like pay, support, you know what I mean, like dropping in buzzwords, and that it would provoke in the audience a sort of Pavlovian response. When Darren Brown does it, usually you build towards, like, if you were going to do that and you were going to drop in subconscious like little pointers, you would build towards, like you'd be creating something, you'd build towards it. But I think Alan would simply believe that you would just drop in like the word, like, and then later on it might pay off, you know, same pay. So it might be that he deliberately did that, or it might be that it's just a mistake on his part because he's feeling playful. It might be a Freudian slip. Again, like, I would not choose to, and I haven't ever, like in ASMR content I have, okay, in ASMR content I have built, because it stays in the title, you know, it's hypnosis, it's a guided meditation, hypnosis. So like the fact that I've left like little words here and there, and you know, but it builds towards a premise, you know, it builds towards somewhere that we go with it, and then like the payoff, I would say, you know, from building in those little cues. But I'm not as skilled as someone like Darren Brown, and I'm not setting anything up like someone like Darren Brown, so I don't use that in my general day-to-day content, because I think it would be a bit like strange. But I think Alan might believe, like I said, the simple idea that you know, when Ellie Arquette, you know, we watch Ellie Arquette, and she might be coming on the show, depending on if she, we'll talk about it sometime. She claps her hands. Like, I think Alan thinks that he's got this subconscious pull on his audience, and he can say words and then it can elicit responses later, but I don't think he really understands how those connections are made and how they work.
Right, so let's go through them again. Lying. Look at you, using your memory. Looking to the right, using your imagination. Licking your lips, dangerous, lying. Putting your hand over your mouth, lying. Hand gestures, lying. Scratching your neck, lying.
It's all stuff he does. Smiling, lying. Touching your ear, lying. Nose, lying. Shifting about on your seat, lying. Everything's lying.
Blinking all the time, blinking, lying. Taking deep breaths, probably lying. Then I got to where I got to just now. We're all okay now. Everybody's happy now, right? Everybody's happy now. Good. Repeating the question before answering, or inserting false words to give yourself time to lie.
Or or in your case, Alan, inserting false words because you want to conjure up false concepts by lying.
Like it's buying time. It's buying time to look right and use your
It's buying time. Is he really using these words trying to elicit cash responses? I don't know.
I have no inclination. That's buying time.
No, buying time, as they just said, is repeating the question. So the question might be, where were you on the night of the 14th? And they might say, on the night of the 14th, you mean Tuesday the 14th, the evening? I was, and that time that they've just used repeating the question seems quite normal to talk. Like they can talk about it without saying, give me some time here. It's fillered conversation though, to buy them some time. That would have been an example.
Or another person might say, you might say to them, was Shanann okay when you left for work? And he will say, was Shanann okay when I left for work? Was Shanann okay when I left for work? Yeah, she was fine.
Good example.
Yeah. Shirley Temple has got a tell. Each person has a different way of lying. Shirley Temple's way of lying is adjusting her bra straps, just as she's going to lie. You see, and
Shirley Temple. Honestly, now I've heard the name, but isn't she a movie star? Shirley Temple. It's come up with this picture of a little girl. Academy pays tribute. She's a movie star. Oh, look at her there. Look at her there. Classic Hollywood. Classic Hollywood glamour. The finger. This one's got a finger wave on the hair. This is classic Hollywood. Look at that. The finger wave on the hair, the short haircut. Post-war women were able to have their hair cut short because during the war they had to go and work in factories, some of them. And in factories, that long hair's dangerous. And it's the war, you know. So they were able to have shorter haircuts. And emulating the flapper girls as well, you got these finger waves where you take the hair and then you put gel and then you put your comb and you pull and you make an S shape, and then you put your finger, then you move and you pull and you create these finger waves with all the pins, and then you set it under the dryers. And like, this is modern, female, confident, glamorous America. We've won the war. Yeah, so things are in colour now. Life is good. We're going to be having happy times ahead. Glamour, Hollywood glamour, 1950s, 1940s, 1950s, this would be Hollywood glamour. Oh, it zooms right in. Look at her. Look at her. Ooh. Shirley Temple. Hello. Look at that. Look at her eyes. It's all in the eyes, isn't it? She did Lollipop. My boy, Lollipop. I thought that was Millie. I mean, it probably originally was someone else. Now, look, when I'm looking at this picture and I'm saying she looks good, yeah, I'm worried that Alan's looking at this picture with the kid and saying that looks good. You know it. Anyway, Shirley Temple used to lie by adjusting her bra strap. What's going on here? She's with the president or some shit. She's a movie star. How do you know when she's lying? Hang on, here's one for Alan. Let's get this one up. There's one for Alan. Shirley Temple. I wonder why he's got a fascination, why he brought up Shirley Temple. Like, I imagine she was a prodigal child star who went through, growing up Hollywood. So a bit like maybe Drew Barrymore or, Drew Barrymore at one point was seen as quite saucy, wasn't she? But people don't think that she was saucy in E.T. Shirley Temple. But known on the internet here for her child stardom more than most other things, I suppose. But I quite liked her in that Hollywood beauty shot. Anyway, Shirley Temple. Yeah, apparently when she used to lie, I mean, you've never heard her lie, have you? You've never heard her lie or tell the truth. She's a movie star. What are you talking about?
Just in her bra straps, just as she's going to lie. You see, unless it's Shirley Temple, all I might have told you is a waste of time. because each person has their own tails.
No.
So we've worked out Chris Watts' tails and we worked out NK's tails, right?
Not entirely like that, but yes and no, okay? Yes and no. Different people can exhibit different facets of body language, but each person does not have an instinctive individual tell. Like, it's not like some special gift you're given there. Like, everyone's got their own different one. You might tap your foot because like someone else scratches their nose and someone else touches their ear, and everyone's got a different. When you find out someone's special tell, that's it, done, busted. It isn't like that. You'd like to think it is, Alan, but it's not. Whereas with you, Alan, you've got a collection of tells. Alan's got a collection of, like, we talk about clusters of body language in the modern terms, and Alan is clusters of body language.
Which I'll tell you about in a minute.
I mean, I'm critiquing him. This is 2 years ago, and he's shit. So it's not really that I'm supposed to be critiquing him on the content. I've fallen into the trap there. What I'm supposed to be doing is having a laugh about how shit he is, because this is fucking awful. Bearing in mind, this was uploaded to his channel just a day ago. Uploaded to his channel a day ago. Why? For what purpose? Who's done this? Are they trolling you on your own green channel, or have I found a troll channel? But it looks very much like it's your own channel. So I think this is your channel, and you're trolling yourself now. I don't understand.
Hand tensing when you speak.
You do that.
Hand tensing to a claw when you speak.
I was literally watching you do that on your own stream yesterday.
It's probably a lie. Swaying is nearly always, I have no witch hunt going on. I know that's a lie.
Dark side field is
self-soothing is a
self-soothing.
lie. Yeah.
Performs a body language that's a bit more than self-soothing.
Blocking off people with our hand and foot movements. I'm going to lie now.
I'm going to lie now.
No, I'm going to lie now.
That's not what that is, Alan. You've confused that one.
Looking at someone, like looking at Tammy, and Tammy says, "Did Shanann hurt those children?" And you look away. You're breaking eye contact when you're going to lie. It is hit, by the way, not hurt, by the way. Okay, just thought I'd say that. Failing to provide specific details.
That's you.
What car do you drive? What car do you own?
Apparently
I drive a 4Runner.
You drive a 4Runner. Apparently yours was only $1,000, you said. Even though in England we don't buy our cars in dollars. But you won't tell us specifically what it is, would you? Like, Alan, it'll be able to say, oh, but trolls, I can't tell people specific things because of trolls. But when specific information about you, like public information, like the amount of money you've been losing on poker, for example, which, so what, trolls, so what? Like, no, that's gone, that's deleted, that's hidden. Glad we caught it when it was out there. I'm glad that Martin Dean caught that, and I'm glad that I made a video about it. But, like, you know, Mr. Transparency over here.
No specific details. I drive a 1999 specific Pontiac Reds. No, I drive a 4Runner. That's not providing specific details. Where were you
on the night of the 14th?
Sunday night. And this is the best one. I'll get back to you on that. That's giving no specific details whatsoever. That is a total lie.
Well, it's not
That's
a lie.
like a lie, number one. Not only, I'm not going to even bother to make up a lie. I'm just going to say, can I get back to you on that one? That's the big lie. I can't recall what I was doing yesterday, you know, just lies. So I was going to say, we're talking about specific people are all different. They lie in different ways. Okay. So I've looked at Chris Watts and NK slightly over the years, only 3 years nearly. People say, stop saying 3 years. Well, it's nearly 3 years, right? It's closer to the 3 than 2, isn't it? and we're hurtling towards 3.
He loves making things like, we caught him out the other day saying he'd been studying for 100,000 hours. And I know it's hyperbole, but he has not been studying full time for over 12 years. You know, no. And it's not been, like he said, I've been studying for 3 years. And they obviously said in chat, it's only been 2 years since the case. And he's like, yeah, but it's nearly 3. Round that up. I've been studying them longer than any other armchair detective, because I've lied about how long I've been studying them, and I've been studying them for a year longer than the case has been going. But there's an example of a lie. Got caught out in a lie. There's an example of one.
Stop saying 3 years. Well, it's nearly 3 years, right?
Let's see his behaviour.
So I've looked at Chris Watts and
looking away.
NK slightly over the years.
Doing his looking away. He was doing. You can't tell what he's looking at though, so you can't say, "Oh, he's looking into his." That's remembered auditory. I mean, he could be remembered auditory, listening to the things. Am I getting that right? Is this why I need the fucking auditory digital, talking to himself? You're about to tell a lie here.
So I've looked at Chris Watts and NK slightly over the years, only 3 years nearly. People say, stop saying 3 years. Well, it's nearly 3 years, right?
That's self-talk. Yeah, that was exactly. This is such a good example of it, actually. I mean, he might have just been looking down at a pen that he was messing with, yeah? But this is actually a really good example of it. Self-talk, audio, digital. It's hard to understand what audio, digital really means sometimes, but I believe self-talk is part of it. So
I've looked at Chris Watts and he's checking in his head. He's going to say, 3 years. NK slightly over the years, only 3 years nearly.
Only 3 years nearly. And then in his head, he knows what the trolls say. No, it's not 3 years. It's only been, and so he hasn't had to look at and read the comments. What he's actually doing is in his head, he's having this self-talk, and then he voices it.
People say, stop saying 3 years. Well, it's nearly 3 years, right? It's closer to the 3 than 2, isn't it? And we're hurtling towards 3. So you might think, if I've been looking at these people for 3 years, I might have picked up when they're lying. Just maybe I have,
You might have picked up when they're lying. Oh, we've got this to come tomorrow, haven't we? His big Chris Watts thing. I should have done that. I looked into it a bit. I don't really want to, but I suppose just very, very quickly. When Chris Watts' dad, Chris Watts' dad, I think Alan might have already called this out in the past though, so I don't need to jump on this. In this one where his dad comes in,
I think
and he's like,
get it out of the way and just really get it out, just to make sure you.
Maybe we need to talk. Maybe your dad comes in. Yeah.
Polygraph failed it.
He says he failed the polygraph.
Failed it. Because there's just too much emotions. So I mean, they're not going to let me go.
Basically, there's some question over his use of she at this moment. He says that he's been caught having an affair and he wants to protect her. And is it he wants to protect Shannon or he wants to protect Nicole Kessinger? And I believed that what Alan was going to do is go through this moment really and just drag out, because he did the other day, didn't he, about their use of the word she.
There's any reason why they shouldn't mention that they know I had an affair.
So he admits he's had an affair.
And they know. I came clean about that.
And he says, I came clean about that.
They know you had an affair. Anything else you want to tell me? What's going on? Or what happened or anything? Or you know anything about when we had that conversation that morning, it was emotional.
When we had that conversation in the morning, it was emotional. Now, he means Shannon, doesn't he? When he had the conversation with Shannon, but, he's just brought up he had an affair, so he could mean Nicole, couldn't he? Like, there's going to be all these questions that Alan's going to be working on, I think.
Told her about separation and everything.
Yo, what's going on my computer?
What happened after that? I went downstairs and
I want to protect her. I want to protect her, he says. And I think Alan might say he means Nicole Kessinger.
You don't want to protect me? I don't know what else to say.
And it's like, it's really hard to hear what's being said here, but like, I was thinking maybe I'd do a video on this. Like, I got my feelings about this, about whether he means Nicole Kessinger or not. And I thought about it, and I thought I hadn't fully watched all this through and like processed it all properly and written my, notes and therefore maybe a script. Hadn't prepared yet. So I'm going to let Alan do his show instead. I don't need to be the first one to spot something special about this case on this interview. It's been out there a long time. Other people have probably said it before, and I'm probably, if I read it one way because of Alan's like pushing that Nicole Kessinger was there, and she might have been there. I mean, I don't know. The evidence doesn't necessarily really suggest she does. There's the picture of video of the person coming out of the garage wearing boots instead of, I spotted him when I watched that they're wearing boots instead of trainers, but I would imagine he's got oil tanker boot working boots that he wears for work. So I imagine he probably just put those on. The thing is, I think other people have done a lot of this, and I don't think it suits me to start in 2023 on any of my channels to be doing, Chris Watts 2023, unless the only aspect is if I said to Steve, look, Steve, I want you to familiarise yourself with this case. I want you to look through all of these videos, and I want you to see if you can bring out anything new to the table. And otherwise, if you can't, then maybe we don't do an episode on it, or maybe if you can, we do an interesting episode and deep dive on whatever aspect of it. We could do it as a thus episode, but do I want to, in 2023, like, this is like a back burner thing you can always do on true crime, the Chris Watts case, isn't it? Oh, we haven't done a Chris Watts one. No, we haven't. Okay, we could cover that. But is it like my desperate need and rush and push to do that? No, probably not. So, I think I might just duck out of doing that. I was going to do it tonight on Super Chuff. I think I might just duck out. I think this is what he's going to be talking about. So yeah, I just wanted to throw that in there today. So at least I've said it on the internet, even the day before, even Alan's going to do what he's going to do tomorrow. But if it is this,
She hurt him. Yeah.
she hurt them. Do you mean Shanann or do you mean Nicole Kessinger? This is too much for me really to be, I think this is horrible. This is the moment where he's lying about, because he's already been lying. He's already been lying, and now he's faced with his dad, and he's going to tell another lie that implicates somebody else, whether it's Nicole or it ends up being Shanann that gets implicated here. And I hate the implication. I don't like it. It's him being at his worst. I don't even think that if he said something here, you could take it as truth, because he in the end twists it to him. Like, his dad assumes he means Shanann. Something about telling her I hurt her and stuff like that. I can't get too much out of this by what I've just explained. So, let's go back to having fun, listening to Anna being an idiot.
NK changes her voice when she lies. When it's a big lie, her voice will go very quiet. Very quiet. What car do you own? Drive a 4Runner. That's a big lie. Goes quiet.
I don't know what car she drives, and I don't know what a 4Runner is.
When she's exposed,
I'm prepared to believe that if you analyse the testimony of Nicole Kessinger and Chris Watts, because they were both proved to have been lying in their first interviews, you will be able to spot them doing some lies, maybe, yeah.
And she knows that if she tells a lie now, she's in trouble. She shouts. Can we talk to your friend Jim? Leave Jim alone! Leave him alone! That's not only a lie, but a scared lie. That's a real scared lie, as opposed to drive a 4Runner, which is just a lie.
Big ups, real good point. AD. That's a really good point. That moment where he got just like that. Leave him alone. AD. He, instead of saying, I didn't sing with kids on Smule, he got really eggy and went, AD, didn't he? Do you remember that? That's real big news, that is, actually. In his own words there, as they say. Big ups, Jessica, for spotting that. Yeah. Like, instead of directly head on dealing with the problems of him being caught singing with kids on Smule, he had his tantrum and went, AD, oh Alan, these are things you do. You buffoon.
She knows if they speak to Jim, she's probably going to prison. So she's got to tell him to leave him alone. Did you meet the children? No. They're so little! Big lie. Big lie. Massive lie. Shouting. She's not crying. They're so little! How do you know they're so little? You never met them.
The kids.
Why so specifically yellow? You're giving specifics. When you spend all your time not giving specifics, you give specifics about the size of the children. Because
instead of just, like, someone edited this and put it up on his channel, right? And we've been watching it. He should have just gone from there. Giving them tips now, but he should have just gone from there. I want answers from Nicole Kessinger, thumbnail, little clip video. I understand it. Like, that's what they're trying to do on this channel, is they're trying to make Nicole Kessinger related clips. And the idea is that YouTube's like some kind of jackpot machine where if you make the right clips, you could ride that algorithm trend wave and get loads of monies. Clips and monies. Easy work. I've got loads of videos about Nicole Kessinger already. So all I have to do is go through them and just clip everything out and then re-upload it 2 years later. Free monies. But it doesn't work that way, and you should have started your clip over here.
you're saying you never met them.
Oh.
Hello, Mrs. Jones.
Welsh.
Me and Mrs. Jones.
Get that gone out of the screen quick.
Got a thing going on. Oh, yeah. Oh, you're Miss Jones. See, that's my dyslexia. I read that as Mrs. and it's Miss. So, yeah. So that I've studied her, and she's give that away there, hasn't she? She shouted like mad about Jim and the children.
He didn't say thank you for the monies. He said, hello there, Mrs. Jones. Oh, it's me and Mrs. Jones. He sang the song and whatever. He didn't say thank you.
Children. Why? Because she doesn't want the police going there. She doesn't want them going there. Now, Chris, on the other hand, he's much softer spoken and quiet.
Weaky squeaky. That's fucking a big squeaky, that one. It's my
And
turn.
he just lies all the time. I hate to bring it up to you, but Chris lies more or less all the time.
Right. Bear that in mind for tomorrow's broadcast where he uses Chris words to prove something about Nicole Kessinger.
He lives a lie. His actual life is a lie. His persona is a lie. His act that he's a nice man's a lie. His perfect husband is a lie. Everything he does is guesswork. He doesn't know how to show any emotions or what emotions are supposed to be in certain places.
This is Alan.
He doesn't know how a father who's got his children missing is supposed to be.
This is Alan, isn't it? Alan's just like, the way he describes Chris Watts is who Alan is. Like, apart from the missing children bit, like, if you actually took what Alan's saying here and like even just those couple of things he just said, I'm sure there's examples in his actual streams. Like, this is actually Alan that he's describing. Alan is like Chris Watts. And Chris Watts murdered his family because we're talking about borderline personalities and narcissism and some weird shit like that, aren't we? Big ups, Jamie. What have you missed? Alan's just saying that Chris Watts is a bad man.
React. He thinks he can talk about bear hugs and throwing chicken nuggets around without even cracking his voice at all, because he doesn't know what emotion is, because he lives a lie. He is a lie. I'm not even sure he knows what he is or who he is.
Chicken nuggets came up then. Throwing chicken nuggets around. It's because Chris Watts talked about his children throwing chicken nuggets around, but it's just interesting, isn't it? Because it's one of those child things.
But one thing's for sure, you can watch him all you like, and you won't see any difference. He's just, all he does is play for time with I have no inclination, everything's the same. Everything's the same. Everything's the same. The only time he broke down in all those interrogations was when he remembered his little girl being hit hard in the face. And that somehow triggered a tear.
Somehow.
That's the only time he broke down. When he recalled a certain person hit him, one of his children, hard in the face. That's when he actually did have some sort of trigger in his mind. Once.
It's nice.
Other than that, he lied and he lied and he lied.
Oh no, that was the truth.
And he makes truth within a lie because he thinks he's a good liar. He told everyone, I'm a brilliant liar. At school, and in school holidays, I told everyone that I went to China. And then people believed me in class. I didn't go to China. I made it all up. I'm a good liar.
So he was talking, that was Chris Watts saying that. It wasn't Alan saying that. But I was laughing about it earlier because when I thought, it sounded like Alan was saying it. I told everyone I went to China and I didn't. That's not a good liar, yeah? No one, if you told people in your primary school when you, like there's a certain age when you're a little kid. I remember we were at the back garden of the pub and they had a swing set and we were kids and we were playing on this swing set and these other kids that we didn't know came and wanted to play on the swing set and one of them said that they were a princess and like a real life princess and like I was actually confused at that. I was only about 4, yeah, but I was like confused. I was like, oh, you, because you don't seem like one. And she was like, no, I have to have the swing. And like later on it like dawned on me that no, they were just telling outright lies, like just straight, not like pretending like kids, but telling lies, like, you know, weird lies that I was like, why are you sure? Like they weren't messing about, like they were telling lies. Like I learned about liars when I was like 4 years old when some kids wanted to push us off the swing set and they told a load of lies to get us off it. But I'm confused about what even I'm saying now.
People believe me in class. I didn't go to China.
Oh yeah, go in China. It's not a good lie, even if Chris Watts or Alan thought that they were a good liar because people in their class believed that. It's either the people in the class are that naive that they believed it, or they just didn't say anything because they thought you're an idiot for telling a weird lie. Like they just didn't contradict you. But I don't think it means they're a good liar. But it's a funny fucking story. Who tells people they went to China?
I made it all up. I'm a good liar. Because he has a good memory, he has an ability to make up a story.
That's Alan.
So in a way, it's hard to tell when he's lying because he's lying all the time.
That's Alan. That's Alan. Alan's not that good at memory, but he does think he can make up a good story, and he's always lying. He looks like Johnny Knoxville. Do you know Johnny Knoxville now, because he's gone grey now? Yeah. Knoxville. Images. Let's have Johnny Knoxville. Open the images. There's Johnny Knoxville. Yeah. There's Alan Vinnicombe. There's Johnny Knoxville. There's Alan Vinnicombe. Oh, you give me some tippies there. Look, $100 bits. There's some bitties. Sorry, I saw them going past. These are ones. I don't get too excited about a single one bitties on. I don't know how much. I think it's like 0.5 cents for one. So, but thank you. I don't know how much it costs for one bitty. I'm not sure, to be honest. But thank you. The hundreds are good, I suppose, aren't they? Because there are more there. But like one at a time. Although you can enjoy doing the one at a time tippies, and I'm grateful for them. But doesn't he look like Johnny Knoxville? Look, Johnny Knoxville from Jackass. I mean, this is like a compliment in a way for him. Alan Vinnicombe. It's a weird one. Johnny Knoxville. Alan Vinnicombe.
You see what I mean? That's what I've studied him and found out anyway. And he doesn't know what emotion is, so he has to look it up. He had to look up when to say I love you, and he had to look up lyrics of songs to portray caring for somebody, you know.
Bit confusing. Alan does understand emotions, but the thing is about the narcissist is he chooses not, well, first of all, you are not people. Like, he's the person and you're all just fucking objects. And then he understands emotions insofar as he uses them to manipulate people. But like feeling them himself and understanding how, like, actually processing them and dealing with them, no. Like, but he does, like, people say narcissists don't have empathy or they can't feel empathy. They can, but they choose to either use it against you, or like they don't, you know, they push it down and don't want to face it. Like they don't use it, like they don't feel empathy in the same way as we do. They don't have the same like response sequence, but they can still feel emotions. It's just that they're fucked up people.
It's not going to be a very romantic person to marry, is it? Who doesn't even know how to think. So that's what I'm interested in tonight. We're going to be watching reels capturing Chris Watts, where they have a very good body language person on. I'm going to go through that with you on Blue at, I think it's 10:15. Bubbles will tell us how long to go to Blue, Chicken or Bubbles. I'll get there. This
is a patron, and he used to do them before his broadcasts, apparently, and he's just killing time before the actual broadcast. There's still 10 minutes of this, and he's obviously run out of things to say.
Yeah, body language expert will look, but I think if
he was tapping something, there was some tapping going on, wasn't there? And he's got this funny silencer on the mic, the noise gate, so it sounded really funny. I don't know what he was tapping. It might have been a pen.
This is a fact, right? This is a fact. Most of you won't even know this, right?
It's that
Franklin Police Station, when Chris was being interviewed, in the next room was Rourke. This might come as a shock to you. Rourke was in the next room some of the time. I'm good authority.
Didn't you just say that licking the lips was a lie, right? Because I just saw you hit, look.
Rourke was in the next room some of the time.
That licking the lips, is that not one of the lies? Is that not what you just literally told us was a lie? The man's such an arse. I've never seen anyone lick their lips like this. It's such an extreme. And there's other aspects of it as well, right? Because like I said, it's not just one thing, is it? But he qualified his statement. He said Rourke was definitely in the next room some of the time. So my guess is that maybe Rourke wasn't always definitely in the next room then, from what you just said.
It was Rourke. This might come as a shock to you. Rourke was in the next room some of the time.
Look at this. Look at the tongue action. French kiss, baby. Look at him. He's such a horrid man. That's a thumbnail. Oops. Snipping tool got a funny snip there. That's a thumbnail. I'll have that. Thank you, Rodney.
I have that on good authority, and I believe I'm right.
Liar.
Not just Rourke, some other experts, and they're analysing Chris. And every so often, Coda and Tammy will go out of the room and get new instructions on how it's going and what they need to bring up, which way they're going to.
Well, of course. Wait. I don't know if the DA was in the next room, but all the people involved in the case have a good chance of being like, it's not the next room, but they have like an office nearby, and they've got the what you call it, the feed, like, the interview, and they can watch it. And at certain moments, they tell people in the office, shut the fuck up, or they will watch because it's an important moment. Like they all have access to it. Doesn't mean everyone's in there watching it all the time. But I don't know if the DA was in the, nor does Alan. And I think the lie, the licking of the lips and stuff, is because he's embellishing things to try and seem important on the internet and saying things that other people don't say, seeming important, because he makes them up. So he was like, I have that on good authority, meaning I just said it and then licked my lips.
Go, all this stuff. That's all important. And Rourke was there as well. Is this guy guilty?
Looking good, AD. Thank you for the truth to seek justice. Bang. Tony Marshall there. I wonder if she regrets that now. AD Justice Seeker. He's AD Justice Seeker. Alan Vinnicombe, like Batman, or like Tom Cruise in that film A Few Good Men, where he had to go, you can't handle I want an ice cream. You can't handle an ice cream. Millionaire, I want a millionaire's bounty. Millionaire's, what's it called? Magnum. I want a millionaire's magnum. You can't handle a millionaire's magnum. Seeker of truth, Alan Vinnicombe, taking your money and playing poker with it until he's got none left and then needs more.
Thank you.
Oh, wait. What he does with your money is no concern of mine. So maybe it's not about that. But seeker of truth, Alan Vinnicombe, prepared to tell wild lies if it serves his purpose at any given time.
Tony, I'm glad the lens is not lying about me anymore. The lens is telling the truth. This is me. Yeah, so he's there and they're assessing of him, and yeah,
Alan, we determined it wasn't the lens.
So they know exactly.
Do you see what I mean, right? He forgot that it wasn't the lens, yeah? And we've seen in recent times, he did the cleaning the lens thing as well in recent times. He hasn't logged that. He doesn't. Kaka dealt with it. It was probably the lens. I was probably right, really. It was probably the lens, if anything. And we're on from there.
What he's doing, which way to push him, which way to try to get him to tell the truth, what to trigger him with, what questions to ask him. But most of all, and you'll hear this from body experts over and again, they're looking for his baseline. Now, this is baseline is like professional talk. Baseline is your way of lying.
No.
What's your baseline of truth and lie?
No, a baseline is how you behave in a normal situation. And the problem with someone like Chris Watts when you're interviewing by the police is that it's hard to get a baseline because he's not in a normal situation. But the first few questions, and you see it in the interrogation with Chris Watts, the first bunch of questions are designed to seem to build a rapport. So tell me a bit about your history. Tell me about where you live and tell me about how you got married, you know, and you talk through stuff that has not really pertinent bearing to the case really, to get him just talking and just feeling more comfortable. And you see the tone, the inflection, the pace, you know, he's not having to lie. He's just talking normally. You get a bit of a baseline. And then you compare it to moments where he acts out of character or against the baseline differently. And you say, these might be lies, these might be tells, this might be stress, this might be, you know, you have to talk. It can't just be black or white, against the baseline, no or yes. But like, Alan thinks the baseline is to determine what he's like when he lies. When in a way,
baseline is like professional talk.
But you don't understand what it means, Alan.
Baseline is your way of lying.
No.
What's your baseline of truth and lies? And that, I'd love to study that one day. And I'd like to get somebody up here and study their baseline.
Ha ha ha. When I did my body language analysis, which was how I rose to some, you know, prominence during the Nicola Bully thing. Not like, you know, when I say prominence, obviously I'm not on the fucking tellis. But you know what I mean? You're here watching me now because of the Nicola Bully thing and me doing body language stuff, yeah? And like Alan poo-pooed it. Alan said it was load of nonsense, pseudoscience, can't be trusted, rubbish, and then took the things I said and then used them in his content. Alan wishes he could be like me and be able to do a body language video that people watch and think is interesting. He wasn't able to do that with Paul Ansell's interview, but he just stole the interview from one of my channels instead. What a sad bastard.
Well, we studied NK's baseline.
And I'm not some special chuffer. Yeah, I'm not some special chuffer. I just say it like I see it. I just watch a video and pause it and talk about it and say it like I see it. But it's funny to me that the thing he attacked me with and said was bad is something that here on a video that he's uploaded just a day ago, he professes to wish he could do.
Now, having said that, experts know this stuff a lot better than me. I'm just telling you what I've learned. Do you think?
And this is silly as well. Experts is a rough term because in body language there's no qualification. Like there's no certificate of expertise. You can do a degree in psychology, you can specialise, but not in body language. And then from there on out, that's it. It's a wild world. You know, read some books, put some stuff into practice, get some jobs. Really, in today's day and age, the thing that gives people the status as a good body language analyst is having worked with a top agency like the FBI or something, because they trust you, ergo, you should be good. Like, whether it stands up in court, you're valid, you know, usually a degree is quite important, like I said, psychology, but the ability to read people's body language, I don't want to keep using the word study, but, you know, the education that you give yourself or have good intuition over, it all combines. Like, you need to learn stuff, but you can't just learn book learning, like, and then say, I'm good at learning body language because I've learned all the books. Like, you have to be able to read people. It's a people thing. So there is some talent and intuition involved in that. You have to have lived a life and experienced some different, you know, stuff. Like, you can't have just, like, read it in books. You have to have seen people doing it as well, I guess. So I'm going to say that there is no real expert. There are people who are in higher esteem in their field, either held in higher esteem by proper agencies like the FBI or someone like that, or on YouTube now. That's popularity. It's not like, you know, being the biggest body language expert on YouTube doesn't make you the most qualified necessarily, does it? It makes you the most popular. But, you know, there are other places in, you know, like being on the tellis and stuff like that, maybe a bit, some validation. And there are some people that I would bow to and say have better expertise, more expertise than me, read more books, done more studying, put more, like, the one I think is my favourite, even though he's a tellis man, is Darren Brown, because he really does behind the scenes put a lot of thought and research into his stuff. So, like, I respect him, but he, like, you know, he's not doing studies on body language and, like, he's not writing dissertations. Oh, he might be, actually. You don't know. But, you know, people are out there still. There are sort of like higher experts in the field, I would say. But yeah, it's a funny one with body language, because, like I say, I think it's fair enough to just think that people get to judge it by their own perceptions of what you say about it. Whether you turn out to be right or wrong, maybe, but, you know, you'll read on it if they agree with it. Because, like, unless someone's going to come out and say, right, yeah, no, actually, I was thinking this when I said that, and I was lying here, then it's hard to sort of, you know, it's objective a lot of the time, isn't it? And there are no qualifications for expertise in that. It's interesting, I suppose. I'm just rambling now.
They didn't have an expert in the next room to NK when they were filming it. Of course they did. They keep sending people in and out. They were assessing her. And their body language experts been saying that.
Well, I wonder if they have a particular body language expert or a psychologist, or I wonder a forensic psychologist like our Steve, or I wonder as well whether they are also trained to read body language to do the job that they do interrogating people.
Well, I just told you. She's lying. She's lying. And they knew she was lying. But two reasons. One, because she wasn't arrested. She could just say, right, I want an attorney, and they get nothing. Or they let her lie and pick out the truth within the lies. No. So they let her lie. No,
what happens, the read technique was followed here, and most basic police technique follows this premise anyway, is you get your story out, you say it all, and then it's all down on paper, and then we have you back, and we go through it all again. And if you change and deviate and forget what you said yesterday, you're going to get caught out. So the fact that you said what you said in interview 1 doesn't mean we let you lie, because otherwise, like, they didn't want to push it too hard, because like he says, otherwise you could get an attorney and that would fuck things up. But first of all, you get everything down, and then you go through it and pick through it. He doesn't understand the basic techniques of the interrogation.
And then research the truth in the lies. It's better than having an attorney saying you're not saying another word. So that was why she got away with it. That's why there's so many hours, because she lied so much, she had to keep getting her back, because the lies were piling up and they wanted to let her dig her own grave of lies. So that was that. But then they had to come up against her dad, who demanded to shut it all down, and he got his wish, which is terrible. Well, that's what happened. He got shut down, and they never did arrest her or give her a lie detector or any of the stuff they should have done. It never happened. Winston's dreaming. You might hear Winston dreams in the background.
Is that Winston dreaming, or is that some weird people making some weird sounds? Doesn't quite get through the noise gate, but Alan's been banging on this Nicole Kessinger was there and she's lying thing for years now, hasn't he? Oh, years. He's uploaded this the other day and it's years old and he's just not changed.
They never did arrest her or give her a lie detector or any of the stuff they should have done. It never happened. Winston's dreaming. You might hear Winston dreams in the background. They never did arrest her or give her a lie detector or any of the stuff they should have done. It never happened. Winston's dreaming.
There is some weird noise in the background, but you can't hear it properly through the noise filter.
And you might hear Winston dreams in the background. Hear that? That's Winston. Winston! He's dreaming. He sleeps a lot, you know. He's dreaming. Hear that? That's Winston. Winston!
Is he locked in a room somewhere and just barking to be let out? Or is that some other weird noise? Who will ever know?
He's dreaming. He sleeps a lot, you know. Yeah, the SIM card was an over-the-top lie. It's interesting, I thought. So they knew she was lying, but they chose to ignore it. And as soon as they found out that she Googled the couple a year before, their experts would have said, well, these two, they're having an affair long-term before the murders. That's what their experts would have deducted.
But didn't we find out, like, because I'm fairly new to this, but didn't we find out that it turned out that that phone was a work phone, and so somebody had Googled Chris Watts on the work phone some years before. We don't know who had it, but it seems legit, doesn't it? That instead of her knowing about him and his wife years before she met them, someone at the work used the phone to Google them.
Did from the searches, because it's Occam's razor. The simplest answer to NK Googling Chris and Shanann was that she was seeing Chris.
Right, I just want to check this because I feel like he's misrepresenting Occam's razor. A scientific and philosophical rule, which means things shouldn't be complicated. The simplest way of completing, if they've got competing theories, the simplest one is more likely to be correct. The simplest explanation is preferable to the one that's more complex. Simple theories.
That's the simplest answer, right? You haven't got to go into she was planning to murder Chris or murder this or no. She's Googling him because she was having an affair with a married man and she wanted to see what he was like on Facebook and wanted to see her opposition.
It's starting to get a bit complex.
Which is his wife. That's what happened. Without doubt. So we know from that they were seeing each other for over a year. She wants to distance her from that. She says it was a short time and they weren't in love. She says she didn't want children, when in fact she wanted to give him his first boy and she was very much in love and she Googled wedding dresses, which is a total contradiction of what she lied, right? So that tells experts that not only she's lying, she's covering up. She's trying to make herself into some sort of Mother Teresa figure who's trying.
You got some tips there and they just went by quick and you just fucked them off. I don't know why we're getting dragged into this NK stuff. I was just having a laugh about his poor performance on this video, really. But I think she could be lying because she doesn't want to be seen as this woman who tried to convince him to leave his family and move to her, because then he murdered his family and it might implicate her in the murder in some way. Like, she might not have done the murder, but she might not want to be implicated in it. So she might want to just put as much distance between her and Chris as possible. Like, that might be fair enough. I'm not saying, listen, I haven't looked through this, and if it turns out Nicole Kessinger was there and Adam was right all the time, I'm not going to be here saying, oh, I always said he was wrong and I'm wrong now. I haven't looked into this too deep, but Alan's on this crusade because they are not looking into Nicole Kessinger, and they never fucking will. So he knows. It's like the Madeleine McCann thing. Like, you can make a million videos about Madeleine McCann. Kate's not going to just tell the truth. Like, Jerry's not just going to tell the truth. They're not going to find Madeleine. So until either of those things happen, it's open season to keep making infinite videos. And it's the same with this. Nicole Kessinger is never going to be questioned any further and deeper. Internet outrage aside, like, there's going to be no appetite to try, unless they find some sort of like critical. No, Alan's not going to find it. You know what I mean? I'm talking like DNA forensics or something. Unless they find some sort of weird critical clue, and you would think that the DNA forensics would have turned up some of her forensic material if she'd been in that house. Like, you're going to have to. Like, there's doubt, says Stinky Socks. Yeah, that's the right word, isn't it? Like, doubt. As long as there's doubt, Alan can feed off that. Because there'll never be an answer, really, will there? And this is the whole thing of it, isn't it? This is Alan and his tragic. Because if that was like, if he was doing that about like the theft of a painting, you know, if he was making all these episodes about the theft of a painting, it wouldn't be so bad. But behind it is the tragedy of the murder of the children, which even talking about it now, like, starts to make me feel sad, and I don't like it. So, like, I don't like doing lots of content about it. But Alan doesn't care. That's the sick bit, isn't it? He thinks he solved it. Like, I'll be intrigued in a way to see what kind of bollocks he's going to spin tomorrow. Like, he's actually at the point now of nearly rock bottom. Yeah, we can have a good chat about Alan actually before we finish. That's good. Let me just finish off what he's saying.
To save his marriage and trying to find him somewhere to live and trying to sort out his weight problems and trying to sort out his life. And she's better than a marriage guidance counsellor, you know? That's how she's portraying herself to the police. They're not.
And obviously with that Nicole Kessinger stuff, yeah, obviously that's a load of bollocks, isn't it? She wasn't, like, she's two-faced in that sense, because she was telling him, just go and see if you can fix your marriage, but secretly thinking, like, go and tell her that you can't fix the marriage and it's over, and come to me and we'll be together. But, like, almost testing Chris. Do you know what I mean? Like, not telling him direct to go and end his relationship, but giving him the choice and the freedom, and, like, not an ultimatum, but kind of like, you know, yeah, like, she was rooting for Chris to leave his wife because she was shagging him behind the scenes. Like,
swallowing none of that. They know she's lying.
No.
When Rourke says, I've no idea why she Googled the couple, he's lying. And he knows he's lying. When he says no one else was involved in this case whatsoever, he's lying, and he knows he's lying. When he says, I never saw the letter from Wisconsin, he's lying, and he knows he's lying. In fact, when he said everybody was carried out dead like the trash in court, he was lying. So he lies a lot, doesn't he? Yet he lied so much that the Ruseks have total faith in him, and everything he says is gospel, when in fact he's telling them a load of bull. And somehow they support him more than me. I don't understand that. I've told them the truth. They don't want that truth. She was there. Part of her deal was that she could be there at the sentencing. And as he walked past, she smirked at him. I got you. He sits in prison saying every day, I'm sat here and she's on the outside. She's as bad as me, if not worse, but she's on the outside and I'm sat in here.
But isn't he a liar?
And yet, the mainstream media, as you'll see from tonight's show on Blue, and join us there, where I pick apart the Reels documentary, capturing Chris Watts. You'll see how they should have understood the whole case. But you'll see the horrible thing that is the Chris Watts narrative that they portray as well. A lot. There's been 6 or 7, all right? And I've sort of seen them all. And I've tried to do my paraphrase on all of them. And they all say it was a crime of passion done in a fit of anger because Shanann said you won't see the kids anymore. That's the story. They dropped that Chris said that Shanann killed the kids. They've stopped saying that now. They say that Chris said, I want a divorce. I want to break it up. And Shanann said, well, if you do that, you'll never see the kids again. And he lost his temper in a kind of passion and strangled it. That's the official story, right? That's what Rourke will tell you. That's what Detective Dave will tell you. That's what Lifetime Films will tell you. That's what a lot of people will tell you in the media. And sadly, that's what a lot of people on YouTube will tell you. And they should know better, because anybody that just like sort of looked in this case knows that that's not the truth. And yet they go along with it for the sake of the family who says they just got to say, yeah, the family says Chris did it on his own, so I'm going to have to believe that. That's the great sadness for me, that YouTube is here to have a myriad of ideas and different opinions. That's what YouTube's for, isn't it? Because we're all different and we're all entitled to an opinion, right? That's what YouTube's supposed to be. But no, true crime YouTube is do as we say. We say that Chris did it alone. And you can't say anything else. Otherwise we'll sue you, destroy you, cancel you, hate you. That's not what YouTube's for.
And it does cut, doesn't it? Yeah. Someone's edited that from one of his other videos. Nicole Kessinger, Living in the Shadows. And then they've gone for shorter edits here now. This is his latest one. The AD changes the case, but that's been uploaded to his other channel as well, hasn't it, already? AD Talks Watts.
The Watts case, the most deeply disturbing case in my lifetime. Unfathomable.
Unfathomable.
Unprovable. No trial, only a sentence. So many questions unanswered. Like, what was the plea deal? Who got the real plea deal? Was it Chris? Or was it the mistress? Or both? The hero or villain? Suspect or witness? Well, you're going to find out tonight on the Armchair Detective. Tune in. Turn on tonight.
But was she a hero in this story? Or is it possible, like Shannon's parents believe to this day, that she tried to help Chris? And when it all started coming unraveled, when it all started hitting the wall, she got scared and bailed. Was she actually helping him and got cold feet and decided, save yourself, girl?
The coldness of Chris Watts, the calculating coldness of Nicole Kessinger, means that other people care more about the murders.
I've cried more for them than he has. Like, who does that?
I believe these two people are hiding so much from us. Together, they're taking it to their graves. Well, Chris has promised NK to take the truth to his grave. He still loves her.
I'm going to make him an offer he can't refuse.
So what was Rourke's real offer that he couldn't refuse? An offer you can't refuse is one that you're highly likely to take.
It's a bit of a weird one, this, because, you know, I totally think that that could be a bit of a narrative. Like, you could construct and investigate that narrative. Nicole Kessinger could have been like, you know, a bit of Bonnie and Clyde, putting him up to stuff. Last minute she bails and he goes to prison and she gets to walk free. Like, you know, that could be a narrative. I don't see why anyone should be angry at Alan for that narrative if he wants to investigate it properly. Obviously, I know why they're angry at him, because of all the lying and all the making things up and all the weird conjecture, all the shade thrown at the family and all that. Yeah, I want to talk about him in Rock Bottom before I go. So, this is being uploaded to this Living in the Shadows channel. And he showed us the red channel monetization was dropping off, didn't he? Armchair Detective Red. And he's been doing this big push for virality. So it feels like a sort of rock bottom. Like rock bottom is not completely reached yet, but like by dredging his own content for views, his own historic past content, making clips out of it and putting it on here, it's like he's like desperate. Like the amount of views, like to put up this number of videos as well. Like this is not good content to put up 5 videos in a day. It's not a good idea. It's a bad idea. It's bad content. 5 videos in a day, all of them clickbait. Chris Watts clickbait. And there's some others that we could look through, like AD waffling. The cellmate Chris Watts would be quite an interesting one. You know, we can look at some of these videos and have a laugh, but it's an example of him being more desperate, isn't it? Like, yeah, rock bottom is approaching. This isn't quite it, because he still thinks this is still a roll of the dice in a way. He still thinks that, like he's still clinging to. It feels a bit like a man clinging to a life raft in the sea, and the life raft is the Nicole Kessinger, Chris Watts stuff, strapped together with a bit of the Nicola Bully stuff, and you know, some Madeleine McCann thrown in there as well. But he really doesn't have much, does he? No, he really is grasping at straws, and like he's hoping that whatever money was coming in, I don't know how, but somehow his Nicola Buddy videos must have been getting him some money. You know, he did get quite a few views. I was surprised on the Red Channel by the number of views he was getting on some of these Nicola Buddy ones not so long ago. And I think a few of them got like actually, this is fucking annoying actually in a way, isn't it? Because this one, Emma White and Paul Ansell got 50,000 views and he would have got money for that. But that was my content. Emma's missing tooth. The injuries. That was my content. And he took it and made some money off it. But some of these got a few thousand views, didn't they? So maybe he got money off that. And then it's tailed off. It's, you know, it's dissipated. And it feels like he's desperately trying to get the numbers up. So at the moment, he's still rolling the dice, isn't he? He's still throwing the dice around. He's still being desperate. Rock bottom's more than that, though. Rock bottom's when like he faces it and he knows that it's not working and it's not happening. Like maybe, you see, I'm thinking this, what he does. I'm thinking what he does this tomorrow. It's already got 2,000 views on The Clue coming up Friday 10 p.m. Proper Chris Watts clickbait, yeah, hardcore Chris Watts clickbait. I'm thinking that actually gets some views for him. Like if you look back at not the videos, they're awful. The lives, you know, 5,000 for a Chris Watts one there. Frankie in the Thing, 5,000. You know, you can expect 3,000 to 5,000 on this Chris Watts thing, but I think he's hoping for like much, like for some of us on YouTube that sounds like a big number, but for Alan it's not a livable, workable, financial, you know, and knowing that so many of us are there watching and it's just people who hate him, you know, that's like, you know, it's Mr. 80,000 subs, it's Mr. hundreds of thousands of views, it's Mr. 1,000 in the chat, like, you know, those numbers are not going to be good enough for him, and the tippies aren't coming in. And like the 20s and 10s that come in here and there for him, he's not like, he's looking for the Nancys and the, you know, the 50s and the regular tippers. And like, have we seen Nancy recently? Has Nancy been there recently? Like, I don't remember seeing Nancy actually in the most recent episodes. Maybe she's doing it behind the scenes. But you've seen it in him. Like, I'm really grateful for 20 quid. I'd say, you know, you see it in me. I think £25 is a lot of money. But when Alan gets a £25 tip, he's like, there it goes on the screen for a minute. Thanks very much. Bye. Okay, so anyway, I was saying, like, you know, so I think things are winding down in the way I predicted insofar as Like, how many people are going to come to this channel and feel like it's a, like, there was a trend wave, there was a hype wave, there was a, same kind of what I was talking about with that woman in the ASMR. Like, you know, she had a time when things got, like, I'm lucky as well for the Nicola Bully thing. Like, what you then have after that is the people that stick around. Alan's fucked it all up. We know he's fucked it. I'm not going to go on about me, actually. It's not really about me, is it? But Alan's fucked it all up, yeah? Like, he's fucked it all up. We know that. So there aren't new people. Like, he's reaching out here trying to do a Ruby Frankie video, and he's got 1.6 thousand views and like a load of abuse for it. Like, things are not going well. The only things he's got going for him are his court case, that people are interested to see what's going on with his court case, how bad he can be, you know, how shockingly disgusting he can be, and in his opinion, his fallback option, like his rock, is the Chris Watts, the Madeleine McCann, the Nicola Bully stuff, and that's not providing, is it? It's not turning out to be a big rock that he can fall back on. It's more hard work than he thinks. He hasn't got as much to say as he hoped, and so now it's come to, where are we? Now it's come to going over his old content, and this is like money for old rope. Desperate. This is painting paintings and asking people to give them money. You know, this is, have I got any, like, when you're desperate, I can, do you know what? Like, I can empathise with this in a way, because when you haven't got a lot of monies and, like, you know, you need to pay a bill or something, you look around, like, you're like, what can I fucking do? You know, what have I got in front of me that I can just do? Like, this can't take 6 months. This can't be like, you know, long-term project, lots of hard work. This has to be, what have I got in front of me that I can do? You know? So he's just thought, I've got this old content. Other people are trending with Nicole Kessinger. Let's clip that and get it up there. And, like, you know, this channel's monetized as well. We'll call it Nicole Kessinger. This will get 1,000 views a day, 10,000 views a day. I'm back on the scene. Not just on the scene, I'm getting the monies. It's the monies this one's about. You know, he's not promoting these videos on his channel, is he? He's not saying get over there and watch these little clip channels. He doesn't care whether the spanners, because the spanners aren't providing the monies. Yeah, those people in his chat, like those people he's manipulating on the daily, that thing, that, you know, get in my Patreon, pay me the monies, it's not working so well. So he's trying to fall back now. Like, his fallback position is now clickbait YouTube algorithm. If these were getting 5,000, 10,000, 50,000, 10,000, 10,000, it's like a casino. It's like he's uploading a load of crap and hoping that something hits the algorithm and he can get a 10, you know, there's £100, £100, £200, or £500. It used to be like that for him. He used to live in this time where, talking about Chris Watts being whoever he was on the internet, he could make a few little, you know, to him, no work, just sit around, say a few things on a channel, bang some, you know, because it's like rolling some dice in a casino and get some returns. This is all dried up though, and so this is like when you go onto your fallback position and then your fallback position doesn't work, yeah, then you start hitting rock bottom, don't you? This is like, so now we're seeing this in action, because if this doesn't work, which is, no, this can't work, raiding his old content for clips, unless you're called the Angry Alan Vintage Clips channel. Do you know what I mean? We can raid his old content for content because we have a laugh about it and watch it and laugh, and, like, you know, we can do that, can't we? But Alan can't do it because, like, it's rubbish. He already does it in his up-to-date content. He already watches his old videos and repeats the same old shit. So here, a video from 2 years ago doesn't seem out of place because he's already saying the same old shit today as he was 2 years ago. So it actually makes him look worse. You should hide this and not show people, but he's done it as a clips for his own. AD in the Watts case. He's at Alan's funeral. He's going to have a picture of Chris Watts in the, you know, when you have the little funeral card and the picture on the front, it's going to have Chris Watts on it. Alan and Chris are forever connected. Alan and Nicole Kessinger, Alan and Chris. He will never stop, will he? But now he's dredging his old content. And this is a funny thing, though, because if he's doing that 2 years ago, yeah, what you can do is you can go back 2 years and you can clip what he did 2 years ago, and then the next one and the next one. You can keep doing that, and you've got a 2 year worth of cycle of content then. And before you know it, you're up to present day, and that adds on another year, and then you can start again, and you can just start re-uploading the old clips again, and you just never end. No one wants to see them, no one cares, but you don't think Nancy's got a laptop back? What happened to it? I don't think we've seen Nancy recently. I've got to listen to Jamie's new song. Yeah, absolutely, yeah. I've been listening to them. I don't know how new the newest one is, but I've been listening to them, yeah. I was just doing my reflections on Alan and Rock Bottom. I think I've said it now, haven't I? I think that's what I needed to say, is that I perceive this is a scraping of the barrel, like an approach towards Rock Bottom hard. I knew that the main channel, like, what should have happened by now? I don't want to say this. I have to tell you, but I don't want him to hear it. But you know what this should look like now? What it should look like is a study, like that thing, the study group. Yeah. Like content cop here, content, like it should be really clear what's happening in your, like there should be really clear, this is the Nicola Bully study group videos. I can just click on one and there it is. Like you can't tell me by looking at this that you can understand what's going on here. That one's a Nicola Bully one. That one. If I'm in the Nicola Bully study group, like it's just confusing. That one's Nicola Bully. Like this is all a confusing mess. How many words are on the screen right now? How many words are on the screen right now? All these different words on all this different shit. For a dyslexic, it's quite a feat, isn't it? To get so many words on the screen at one time. And you can't see the edge here with the edit, transform, reset the transform. Like with the Nicola Bully one on the right, the police hold things back. There are so many words on the screen. So many words. Yeah, he's doing so badly at content creation, and yet still getting quite a few views, to be honest. And that's because people hate him. Like, he must know that. 4.4k on AD debunks the lie that Frankie only has a misdemeanor. Who's watching that? Who's invested to watch that? Right. He must know it. Try something off-piste. It's rubbish. Waste of time. Stick to what you know. It's not really. It's fast becoming stale. Everyone can tell. You know, you go back to the old Nicola Bully video that you dropped for the study group, and you got 4,000, and then it's 3,000, and then it's going to go to 2,000, and you know, how many Madeleine McCann videos can you churn out? Who cares? Do you care even at this point, Alan? Because it doesn't look like it. But we're going to have a good hard push on the court case, and we'll have a good hard push on the Nicole Kessinger for a bit. And then what? Then what? Interesting. He's really, 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 you know, at some point my offer of £1,000 to come on a stream and talk to me, like that full on stands, £1,000 to come on a stream and talk to me, that full on stands. At some point, like, he's going to want to just take that. I'll of course charge money for people to watch the stream, but you'll get paid, so you don't have to argue about it. You get your £1,000, I do what I've got to do, you know. Like, at some point that's going to appeal to him. So you want me to watch Jamie? This is how I find videos about Armchair Detective now. Armchair Detective. And then I go filters and maybe today. Yeah. And it brings up the recent videos about Armchair Detective. Oh no, look. Oh no, they're all bad. They're all bad for you, aren't they, Alan? As far as Alan's concerned, they're all bad. Could you imagine that? If you're Alan, and this is just today, This is one day. So, like, you want to know what's the most recent news about Alan and the Armchair Detective? His video, thank God for him, comes up at the top. Jane Tanner slips up. I can't believe he used the same title as that other YouTube video that he stole the content off. I can't believe he used the same title. Then his other video comes up. It's a load of nonsense. Then you got Val. Genetic Code's done one. I've watched it. It's shit. That's got nothing to do with anything. Nor is this. Oh, there's my video. Hooray. Busted. You got busted. There's Jamie. Do you want me to listen to the Ace of Spades? You've linked it in chat. Creep. Oh, Creep. Do you want me to listen? I'd like to hear Creep. Is it Creep? Which one have you put in chat? It's Creep. Okay. This will 100%. Radiohead are hard on the copyright as well. So this will 100% get me copyrighted. Infected Regardation Police now, Jamie, and Regardation Police is now just doing Armchair Detective songs as well. Don't know if you noticed this one. What's happening here?
So now I'm ready to close my mind.
What's happening here? Like, poor Alan. Poor Alan. What's happened to Alan now? How has this happened to him? Oh, it's good, isn't it? It's good. That was what I had to share, really, is that I was watching that video and now I've discussed his rock bottom, which is fast approaching. I don't think he's getting as much money as he used to get. Let's have a look at his community posts. How to get your money back from a crowdfund. If people enacted that, if that was right and it was bang on and people enacted it on his crowdfunds, that he did for his book and all that business, sorry, for his documentary that he never did, then wouldn't he be in trouble? This ICO, what breaches do you need to notify the ICO about? Bear in mind, of course, don't you remember the ICO were going to send him an email? We caught it, didn't we? Secretly on his stream. Oh, he accidentally had that pop up. Where's the email? Where's the big stink about what email the ICO have sent you? Did it not go your way, Alan, in the ICO email? Because I'd have thought you'd have put a big post about it. Remember, Kakao was going to be looking into that. Check the comments on the video posted on the Blue channel. Yeah, but then if I do that now, you'll know which alt, he will see which alt it is. I can't do it now. Because he will see which alt it is. Because he'll look at this, and it's written above the screen now. I was looking for this one, the how much you're earning. It got picked up, didn't it? I think it was Slinky Socks or someone else that picked up that he had edited this from the original, like I said, from when I first saw it. But this is his red channel, and if it is his red channel, which we can social blade it up and have a look as well, can't we? If it is, then that's a dramatic drop in revenue, isn't it? Now, I'll be honest, like the glory days, I'm joking, of Nicola Bulley's disappearance, things have died off a bit. But actually, I'm really sustained by the tippies rather than this number. I see the YouTube money that comes in as a bit of a bonus. I mean, I'm grateful for it, and I want it to be bigger than, you know, smaller. But, like, you know, view counts, super chats, ad revenue, it can come and go. Right, it's not all going to be bonanza. And when it is bonanza times, if you're lucky enough, like, to get that hundreds of thousands, stuff like that, then you have to try and sort of leverage it in a way, either by getting a sponsor or utilising, like Alan, he was right in his thinking. If he could have got on this morning, you know, if he could have written a book and become a notable, actual, reputable person, like if he could have become a real boy, like if you do well, you can leverage it to get yourself somewhere. Do you know what I mean? Like somewhere more stable and secure. But if not, then it just tails off and then you're done. Yeah. So, if this is right, like this is obviously not his biggest money because he wouldn't show his biggest, would he? But this is symptomatic of a problem that Alan has. And it's probably quite a problem if you're used to living on 3 to 4 to 5 and it drops down to 1 to 1, you know? And that's not, he's cropped off the ones before it that were bigger as well, I'm guessing. But actually 3, 4, it looks like it was going up there for some reason. And then down. It's interesting. It's from someone who's not monetarized, it's interesting to even see that, isn't it? I mean, it's interesting to see that it's obviously skewed, rotated, and it's obviously been cropped. And if it's been skewed, rotated, and cropped, has it been photoshopped in any other way? Because they're just numbers on a picture. But Alan says, a taster below, I'm on peanuts. He's on peanuts. Is he getting cross about the money? You know? And he says he doesn't beg for money ever. He always begs for money. He's constantly begging for money. Like, this is a beg. That in itself is a beg. Like, guilt-tripping people about how small your money is like basically telling people, please give me money, isn't it?